We are live. I used to stream a lot more frequently, but there's some stuff programming wise that I'd rather just do, hack it away on my own. I broke the sculpting system this morning already. It's good. It's a good start. Super. All the four, something's wrong with one of the four loops. I don't know which one. But today I'm gonna make fences, and this is like something that's really boring, so I'm gonna stream it because that helps me get through it. And it's more the Houdini though. That also helps me get through it too, because I like make it. Oh, look at this diagram though. Yeah, Wayfair. This is it. This is it right here. This tells. There's like posts in the ground. You don't think about the posts in the ground. You mostly just think about the tip of the iceberg. So I'm gonna be making this fence. Amazing. It's gonna help the residential prefabs a lot. It's gonna look like this Call of Duty map that I spend like half of my free time in. So that one, and honestly, they're the same fence. They're the same exact thing. One's just taller, and I have to make some wood stuff. What's up, DV? Yeah, so fences, they're super boring, but they're gonna help a lot. Just lots of things like this need to get made, and they need to work within the new system, materials, textures, and the meshes. And I want it to all be procedural, so that's what I'm gonna make. Make sure that I'm streaming this correctly because it's been a minute. This looks like it's okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Super exciting. Pretty out of sync with the marketplace because I basically don't buy anything anymore. I used to spend like a lot. I buy a lot of stuff out of here, but now I don't really buy much. I think like things like sound I'm not ever like looking to make. But this is mostly like inspiration and ideas at this point. Like to see it. Oh, look at that. Drum set. 50 cal, those are sounds. Office meeting room, have I seen this one yet? Oh, this cave. Okay, yeah. I've before this stuff even goes online, I see all the people who post it. It's a pretty small world. People doing this stuff. And a goat. And a castle. And a goose. Like a goose knight. Okay, is this the new stuff? Oh, the point clouds. I need to go do some scanning. Those are good vehicles. I forget if I've taken those or not yet. If I need them, I'll just buy them if they're not free. I think those are perma-free, actually. A cute anime girl? I do have to work on characters at some point. That's not a huge priority, but it's definitely possible. A jet. That's a nice jet. Yeah, that's cool. Arctic Island. This is a little bit closer to what I've been working on for the last week or two. Is like environment stuff. Those are cool. Those are pretty good. I could make this mountain at this point. I don't know how to make that, and I don't have volumetrics in Houdini yet to make the clouds, but we're gonna get there. This is all within scope of like basically this year making everything here. The everything. The particles, ray marched, volume clouds. I mean, it turns out like a lot of this stuff isn't actually procedural. It's like you kind of like, I mean it is, but like you need the base mesh. Like this base mesh is really hard to generate, but then doing like the chipping and the debris and then like, you know, putting a different material on the top and the side, that part's kind of procedural, but you kind of have to model this by hand. It doesn't just like kind of come for free, or you take it from geodata, which is my plan. That's a nice set. That's pretty nice, and it's presented well too. This is really good. That's Mars or something on that one. Forest. Okay. Bunch of pine trees. That's a cool lake texture. It's big. Like it doesn't look that repeaty. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll have environments this big again soon. I know how to make pretty much all of this. It's just time, a lot of time to do it. And you can get all these trees and stuff from Speed Tree and Megas. Well, Megascans is coming out with trees eventually and blah blah blah. But I really want to make my own, so yeah, that's why I've been diving into the Houdini. What else was the lots of forest? This is the forest guy. This guy likes making forests. Understandable. Yeah, I'm gonna I've been looking at some ways of doing this in Houdini. You have to make like a rock generator, and then you like do like physics painter, and then you just mesh them all together. Those are the plants I'll add later in Unreal. Oh, that's it. That's just one picture. Oh no, there are multiple pictures. These look like they're photogrammetry, which I don't really want to use photogrammetry anymore. I used to really like it, and it looks real, but it has a lot of restrictions in it, and that the textures aren't actual PBR becomes an issue. Or you have to like extract the PBR. So I'm gonna build very similar things, but I can do it in Houdini, and they'll be closed mesh, and I won't have to deal with the photogrammetry issues that these have. Oh yeah, I like this one. Geodata, it's like terrain map like data. Like there's a open source, there's paid and open source free geodata from like scans and satellites of the world you can use to generate it. What's up, Visual Lab? Oh, yeah, I haven't built a curvy arch yet, but I have the makings of pretty much all of these pieces. The little this used to like really overwhelm me, but now I pretty much understand how this goes together with the coins, and these are God, what's the name? Ballast. I had the name in my head. It's on my list to make things. It's like the fake columns. Like they're it's all artifice. Like or it's facade. It's all just design. Almost none of this is structural, which is used to confuse me for a while. But having looked at it for long enough, I know how to make this stuff. Now it comes down to just like actually good architectural design, not just like understanding it. It's like actually coming out with nice proportions and all of that, and that's tough. I think the world grid I've chose is a little it's a little big. It's a little weird. Oh, he even calls it facades. Yeah, yeah, that's what they are for sure. It's just nice to see how other people break it up. Our system doesn't break it down into anything this small, which we'll see. We'll see how that works long term. Interior stuff. Boardroom. It's really at the table. The table does the whole is the main piece of this room. So that's a thought. Do some more tables. And then this one, I saw someone. I think I saw this on Instagram too. It's good lighting more than anything. And a Buddha with no arms. These rocks, I kind of have like the beginnings of being able to make these in Houdini, but they still don't look like that good. And then I feel like a lot of this is photogrammetry. Like you just find like a rock in your area, scan it, scale it a couple different ways, kit bash it together, and you have also. Oh yeah, this is the Scans Factory team or person, and this is free now. This is nice. This is how I used to make buildings. Is I used to go scan real ones with like lidar and photogrammetry, and it's like, oh, they look awesome, and like this one's been processed pretty well, but there's no interior. Like you have to like it gets to be a little overwhelming trying to actually make a level with it that isn't just exterior. But that's like what most video game levels are. So it's still better. Like it's like this is exactly how I used to kit bash levels. There's no inside. And then to try to line up an inside with it, it's a mess. So this works for certain looks, and you get a lot of like free detail in it because it is photogrammetry. But then like it doesn't build the worlds that I need it to. These are good. Where did these come from? I think these must be like. I don't know if those were done traditionally. That ledge is really cool. But it's long term very hard to lay out levels with photogrammetry. I've found. I'm sure. You end up doing so much processing to make it like closed mesh, and then you have to like start like making things up, and then you can't match the textures. It's hard. So I think just doing it completely from scratch in Houdini is still like the longer term better move. Though I mean there's so much detail in it. It seems like incredible, but I think they're difficult to work with long term. So fence time. This diagram though is so full. So I keep rounding everything to 4 meters. So my proportions always get a little funny. Like it doesn't look like a professional ArcViz, my stuff, because it's always kind of rounded towards this this world grid that I've laid out. So We'll see. I have a couple more months before GDC, and I'm just gonna do like what I've been doing with the proportions, with the world grid, looking at it, and then I have to kind of look at it honestly and see if I have to make the grid smaller, which makes it more flexible. We can do better builds that are more realistic, but it makes it more complicated. Like it's harder. It's harder for people to build with it. The smaller you make the grid until it's like a 10 by 10 grid, and then you're basically a 3D modeler. Whereas it is now, it's more like you're just playing Fortnite or Ark. Ark's even a bigger grid or smaller grid. So it's a balance of simplification versus like control. So, well, I used Blender for like a half an hour the other day to make a column, and I completely forgot all the controls, like how to use it. Just the transport controls alone, where I forgot how to use that program. Okay, so we're making a fence. So I mean, I could try to make like an Uber fence, so like these are the same. I was gonna say blueprint HDA, but it doesn't matter. Like, I think they're pretty flat, so we have to make this and that. And this, what are they calling this? This is a post, right? Yeah, this is a post. That the post for this is the same post I'm gonna use for this one. Yeah, it's just taller. So this one's a cube with like a little acorn arrow top, and the fence posts are the same. They're just laid out a little bit differently, like the actual little like pieces that make it up. And these ones have like just cubes, horizontal cubes across them. So does this one. They're just spaced out. So these are pretty much the same. This one has like a bottom and then a mid one. This one has, what was the difference? They're the same. This just has a middle one. So this is the same HDA. The only real difference, besides the parameters of like height and width, are the fact that I gotta either renew or uninstall that virus scanner, is that there's spacing in between them. So I could just parameterize that. I might as well. So that's just going to be copy to point instancing, or copy and transform, where I do like every other. Like, what's the spacing on this one? It's not quite. It's pretty much every other. Every other minus the sides. So these are the same exact assets. They're just placed differently, and then we have to have room for a third one by over-engineering this into one HDA. But that's the challenge. That's how I get through this, is like do something new, do something that's a challenge. Look at, they're really flat too. Like there's this piece. This is good. This is a good cross section. So the first part is to make this whatever, this flat part here. Knowing that we're gonna have these cross sections, that needs to have an option of 2, an option of 3. I guess it could be an option of n, like however many we want. And the main thing that's going to drive it is the height of the post. This is how I built the other fence too. And then there's a width. And then we have to do how many across there are. It's really going to be something like, it could just be a Boolean of every other, or it's like all of them across. And that's going to be, I'm not sure, maybe copy. It's probably not copy to points, because that doesn't really help you with overlapping. It's probably copy and transform. And I'll take this length and divide it by the width of this post, whatever we're calling this piece, and then that'll set the number of ones across, and then we either do all of them perfectly across, or we do every other. So that'll do it. So let's make this thing. It's pretty much a box. This one's really just very pentagon-y. This one is also very pentagon-y. So this one has like a taller pentagon part. This has like a shorter one. So that needs to be parameterized. So it's how many points is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Okay, that's pretty easy. So I'm gonna make this all one HDA. It's been a second though. What do we call this thing? What do we call this? It doesn't matter. This is basically, the subnetwork name never ends up anywhere. It's just a container with another container. We're gonna just use advanced collisions, because for time, or complex collisions. So this is just geofence, and I think it all lives into one mesh. So I'm not gonna need like multiple or collisions or LODs. Let Unreal Engine do all that stuff. Plans for implementing facial capture using iPhone. I had plans with it. We'll see. It's a little bit beyond my time, like scope for time to do it, because it's not like built into the engine. They give you a like example project to kind of like hack around with and reverse engineer, and that's what I did. But if anything breaks in it, I'm pretty shit out of luck with being able to program that stuff myself. Like I'm like very, very on the side, slowly learning like more iOS programming. Mostly because I think Apple's AR platform, whatever they come up with, is going to be like the platform for filmmakers, at least. I don't see anyone else using anything else. But I'm still like, I don't know how to implement it. I can take something that like Unreal Engine builds and I can make it work, but I can't do it from scratch. So it's still hard for me to integrate it because I haven't done enough iOS programming to really know what I'm doing. I would like to, especially as we push this towards more like a virtual production platform where like you take like live video of a person, you green screen it out, you put it in the 3D world, then you can do an over the shoulder of like CG characters, and one person's puppeting the CG character, the other person's a real person, like that sort of stuff. But I think if I take on any like serious iOS stuff, I'm gonna have to expand my team, which I'm holding off on as long as I possibly can, expanding this thing out. What is this? This is a fence control. Now, how do I call these? I don't remember. I remember that like I have to like, this is like a URL, like an address. I have to always reference this. So if you make this name super long, it's annoying to reference later. And I saved the HDA, right? Or the hip, yeah. Yeah, iOS is just not my specialty, and I don't really, I get really bored learning it, so that seems like something I'd have to I'd rather collaborate with someone who's really good in that, and that's like all they do, and they're like, oh, Apple just updated the new like ARKit 3, blah, 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 now we have to do this. And like, for me, I'm just like, I don't care. Just please make the morphs work. So it's kind of like my interest isn't there enough to like actually get it done by myself. I have like I need to like kind of manage the bigger picture of what I want to get out of this, even though today I'm making fences. So let's see. So this is, I'm just gonna folder right away. Name, crap, what was that? I'm gonna leave that stock. Like I'm gonna cancel this. Is there a hotkey for this edit parameter interface? Because that sure as hell happens. I could put that like on mouse 4 when I'm using Houdini. So what's its stock? So the name you don't really change. It's just this label. All that matters. So I need to get it. What is it? It's like fence. I'm gonna call it like the slat. I don't know what those things are called. Yeah. So slat dimensions. So we're gonna have its total height. We're gonna have its total width. Its total depth. Then I'm gonna drop a separator. And then the way that we want to parameterize this is it needs to have like its top width and then its top height offset. Like I'm going to call it the arrow. I'll call it like, yeah, I'm going to call it arrow basically. So we're going to need arrow width and arrow height. So this will actually keep it like procedural, which would be good. Okay, so the name and label matters. I took a break from Houdini. I was doing like Unreal Engine, like procedural static mesh terrain stuff for a little bit. So basically doing Houdini but Unreal Engine in Unreal. Super slow. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. It needs to be done in C++ probably. Or I use the voxel plugin, which I don't want to do yet. Anyway, so this is the we gotta keep these names shorter. I've been screwing myself by making these really long. I'm gonna call it slat width. It's already within a folder, so the title, the label probably doesn't need to have the prefix. But then in Houdini, we're gonna go to height because that's the next one. That's Y. Slat height, slat depth. Slat depth might end up getting controlled by like the fence depth, like a parent parameter. We'll see. Slat depth. And then we talked about having slat, I'll just call it the top. Slat top width, which has to be an, it should be an offset. So it can't be, yeah. It should be an offset. Now I'm making this slat top width offset. That's really the name. It's super long, but whatever. Top width offset. So it should always be like something that subtracts from the width of the width already versus making it its own thing, its own dimension. And this is going to be the slat top height offset. Yeah, that's good because then it's real world dimensions. We're not dealing with like percentages or something like that. So top height offset, and I'm gonna start it like that. So is that enough to generate that slat piece? And then we build the pillars. Well, the pillar is really its own object, even in, yeah, it's its own object completely. And then it's about placing them along the width of this. And we need like a total, well, I'll build this first. So let's hopefully not lose this, except, yeah, that's the first one. So this one's pretty easy. So it's just like an add, what is it? Like Alt Shift C. Yeah, there we go. Money. Okay, real world dimensions into this thing immediately. So let's start with the big one and go down. I think makes sense. So slat width, I don't know. I have to, so like, the way that they rate this is really confusing. It says 6 feet H by 8 feet. Does that mean it's 6 feet high by 8 feet wide? It's an odd way of rating it. But that's how they rate fences. It's the same thing here. This is like fence notation here. 3 feet H by 6 feet, like, oh, W. Oh, that one has the, oh, I see. Never mind. That makes perfect sense. It's height by width. I didn't see the W there. All I saw was like the, I thought this was like part of that name. Okay, that makes sense. So it's height by width. So 6 feet by 8 feet. 3 feet by 6 feet. So my little fences are going to look weird because they're going to be kind of long, but we just need these. These do a really good job of you not having to dress the background if you put fences up this high. You can't see past them. So we're going to say that the height is 8 feet, maxes out at 8 feet. And this one's like 3 feet, yeah. No, 6 feet. 6 feet high. I don't know what that is in meters. 1.8, that's a 2. That is a 2. Okay, so slat height, we'll say 2 is the max. The width, I have no idea. If it's 2 feet high, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's too early to guess this. Like, this is 1. What's this thing? Like that's another one here. 0.5. 0.25. I'm gonna say 0.1. I don't know. 10 centimeters. I guess I could just like look at, yeah, it's 0.1 for this thing. And depth is like 0.05, I think. And then reasonable width offset for the top offset. Offset is like, so it's 0.1, and so we're gonna do like 0.02. And then the height of that, that's what changes between these two fence styles, is also like 0.1, something like this. These are kind of like maxed values here, and so the sliders are kind of not ranged for that. This is important. This is the main shape of the fence, is this slat. And I think this, oh, and there's a bevel. I'm gonna keep it low poly. This piece that I'm gonna make here, I'm probably gonna use this a lot, so I'll put the work into it. That's the hope with this Houdini stuff, is that like it's like you're not just modeling something once. Like this piece occurs again later, and I can hopefully reuse it. So what did we say here? 0.1. Like I would never put this much work into like a Maya file or Blender. I would just model it and be like, blah, never be done with it. But this is something I can use later, hopefully. So we said 0.1. That's calculated, so it's gonna get calculated, but I will range it back. So we'll say like it would never be like 0.5. It's like, that would be gigantic. And we should probably prevent 0 from happening too. Though we're not beveling, so we're not going to crash it, but we'll see. So slat height, that could be all sorts of stuff. We'll say 4 maxed, and I'll say 0.1. I just don't want these ever to hit 0. That'll throw things off pretty bad. Depth, 0.1. No, that could be much smaller, so 0.01. And the depth, it's 0.01 to 0.1. Depth, yeah, 20 centimeters. Yeah, it would never be like that much. So this one's actually slat height. Nah, that's fine. Width, Yeah, 1 centimeter to 50. That's fine. This offset can be 0, and given that we said that this would be 0.5, we'll say it's like, I need to figure out how I'm going to do the math on this one, like if this is getting divided by 2 or not. So 0.5 is its total. If I do, so it's, I don't really know. I'm going to say 0.5. That's way too much, but, and then the height offset, this could be quite a bit, considering that this height is 4. This could be like 1, would be a lot. So this keeps the sliders into like somewhat a reasonable place. What's up, Redo? The environment with the height field look great. Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, it's super slow to do it in Unreal Engine that way, but I do eventually want like a No Man's Sky, like in-game, like procedural system where you're like, make forest, make another forest, make it bumpier. It's like, and like, it's just like these high level like design controls, and the rest of it, and it's all being done in procedurally, but from modular pieces. Like I have like I know how fast I want it to be when I'm using it, and I just have to kind of like get there. And so it's going to be a mix of Houdini and a mix of Unreal. Well, I mean, mostly Unreal, and then Houdini pieces built into it. I'm still not like that confident at like mesh generating in Houdini in Unreal. So I basically make the mesh in Houdini and then I adjust it in Unreal Engine. That just makes it easier. And then I don't have to like do procedural UVs and procedural, all that stuff in Unreal is very, very hard to do. In Houdini, it's pretty easy. So these put things into maxed position in the pieces I'm going to make, so they don't look parameterized all that great. Because like if they're maxed, obviously they should be leaning more towards this side of it, but we'll kind of see. Okay, so how do we do Houdini? So we're going to click on this thing, U.1. So let's build this into, let's remember what axes are, how this works in this program. So let's go to the, I don't remember how to use this. Oh, here we go. The front. So the front should put us into positive XY. Yep. And then I think, I forget how this works here. So positive XY is this way. And that means we're looking into negative Z, which is that's their positive, that's their forward vector, is negative Z. Okay, so we want to build with that in mind. We're still not doing Unreal Engine orientation, but it doesn't matter. I just spin these. So first point here, boom. Hour into this, or 27 minutes into this, and I've drawn 1 point. It's that point right there. Let's go ahead and make a person too, because I just in case I start forgetting what dimensions we're actually in. Yeah, it's always helpful to have him there. Okay, back in here. His feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically we could mirror it, but then mirroring always screws up the point order, and I haven't figured out how to fix that. So we'll start with, I end up drawing these counterclockwise. I don't know if that's an Unreal Engine procedural mesh thing. I should probably draw them clockwise. And that makes this negative X. Okay, so we'll start. So we're going to take slat width. Here. Paste. That's not how you do it. And we're going to do times negative 0.5. Puts the dot there. Then we're going to go up. Boop. Here. Same thing. And the height is now slat height minus height offset. Just that. There's nothing fancy about it. I should not do math. Yeah, so this is the cleaner way to do it. Now, where did that go? Okay, so it's 2 meters. So the dot's up there. So we've drawn this dot and this dot, but we got to offset it for the little arrowhead. This is the height offset. Hey. Minus, I need a hotkey for this. So this brings it down that offset. Now this one, this next point. How's this gonna work? It's well, we'll just draw it. So its height is the full height. That's the easy one. So slat height. So it's maxed out, and then it's gonna be, it's this one. In this case, it's plus the width offset. Now, what is this width offset? Like, so do I divide it by 2? So width offset. So how much does it come in? Yeah, so it is, we don't have to divide it. It's not like, because it's an offset, it's not like, we're not actually calling it this dimension. If we were trying to define this dimension, we'd have to divide it by 2, but it's just a straight offset from whatever this value is. And in this case, we are adding it back. So top width offset. We're adding that. Oh crap! I did this wrong. What is it? This one. Copy parameter. We are going to. I should do a quick refresher on like order of operations. It'll make this stuff faster for me. But I just stick everything in parentheses. There we go. So that's the next point. This one, same height, same thing, but in this case, it's positive in subtraction or something like that. So it's just a rearranging of these values into the right numbers. So where did that go? So I drew it on top of it, right? So this one is now not negative, I believe. Ooh, didn't like that. Put a 0, and then it's subtracting that one, I think does it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's the arrowhead part. And then point next one is number 1. So it's the same as number 1, but positive. Same height as point 1. So it's this one. And point 1. So it's just the positive version of this. Next point. And then the last one. Yeah, we're doing game meshes, which is great. I don't have to. I mean, it could definitely benefit from like a high poly version, but I'm not gonna do that. Doot, and point index 5 is the half width and 0, 0, 0. So it's this one, but not negative. And we're done. There. So those are the points. That makes a fence. What am I calling it? A slat. That makes sense, right? It's like a slat of a fence. And then we make it a group closed. So it's like a primitive now, I think. That's the fence post. We're going to extrude it. There's a lot of different ways to make it solid. There's a lot of ways. Question is, we want to keep it centered. So what's the best way to do that? Extruding it. I could extrude it and transform it, or I could use like the labs thicken. That one seems like it's a little heavy. I guess you can just open them up, can't you? But I guess I'll try the labs thicken thing. Thicken. Yeah, that seems like it's got a lot of juice in it. Like, what's going on? Normal stuff. There's an extrude, a poly reduce, and then some switches. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy for what this is. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, it's gonna just extrude it, move it. So poly extrude. It's basically what they're doing, but I don't need all those other options in it, and I want this graph to move pretty quick. I now have a need for a supercomputer because I always want my Houdini graphs to run fast. Okay, so we're just gonna extrude this thing on what axis? So how does extrude work? I don't remember. You just go like this. Was it extrude along the normal or something? Yeah, that'll do it. So that's slat depth here. And then we just transform it back. So we're going to take slat depth divided by 2, and that goes back on negative z, which is this one. This times negative. There you go. So now it's centered and it's got depth. So there's our parameterized fence post, and it's just about presets. If you hit Y, you can change the form of the nodes. What is that? Y? Oh, what? What do you mean? If you hit Y? I know about the scissor thing. If you hit Y, you can change the form of the nodes. I know I've seen like the version where like it has like kind of like right angle connections. I don't know what you mean. I know like this, like cutting it, but I don't. What do you mean? Do you select when you select it? You select it and hit Y. You just hit Y on its own. Like I don't know. I don't have anything happening. Now these feel really fragile to me. Like this is. These are still parameterized wrong. Like, it's mostly this slat width is just like way off, and I'm gonna get back in here and try to make these more realistic. Because like for me, this is the max height. I'm not gonna make a fence taller than that. I mean, I guess we could do 3. Like, what did I make the height? 4. Yeah, let's do 3 for the height. The slat width, 50 centimeters. There's just no way. There's no way. It's really like, what is it currently at? It's at like 0.1. 0.1 is like almost the, I'll say like 0.2. And that makes this like, if this is 0.2, then 0.1 would be the max. I guess that's how we're going to do that. And then this height offset feels really fragile too. Like a 1 meter, there's no way. It's more like 0.4 or something like that. Even that seems like a lot. 0.3. I think 0.3 is a little better. So let's see how these look. Yeah, these seem less fragile. Okay, cool. So now it's like, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, those are safer. So let's see if I can undo myself back into what there we go. That's not bad. I think the depth is a little much, 5 centimeters, but anyway, that's the slat. I'll leave the UVing till later, I guess. Z. If I like select something and hit Z. Oh, those things. Oh yeah, yeah. And there's like colors, there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's this thing here. Yeah, I'm sure there's like, I was talking to someone from Epic Games yesterday about Houdini, and they were like, I've been using it for 20 years. I was like, what the? This has been around for 20 years? Like, what the hell? I had no idea. I guess we are in version 18, so that's like almost like 1 a year, right? So that's like 18 years. Like something like that. You got a fence post through your head. Okay, so there's those. I could UV it at this point too. I guess I should. UVing is really heavy. It kills all the graphs. And UVing this thing's not going to be too hard. And there's a question if I'm going to use like seamless materials or if I'm going to like substance painter this thing. I don't like substance painter anymore. It's like it makes everything like a one-off, which I'm not really into. Everything becomes like, oh, there's no back. Everything becomes like a hero prop at that point. So I just answered my own question. So we're just going to UV this like in a seamless tile way. And we have an N-gon, yeah, right? So like we don't have this here. I guess I could run a triangulate on this. That's why there's like a remesh on that other one. On that that thicken. I bet we can draw that line though, can't we? How would I connect 7 and 10? Like these are these point numbers are not going to change. How would I connect 7 and 10? Draw an edge there. Is that an add? I don't know how to do that. But ideally I would like to add an edge to 7 to 10 and 1 to 4. Or rather, I guess 1 to 4, and then ideally. In the case that like N-gons are bad, or I can run a triangulate across it, which I don't want to do, but we'll see. If this doesn't come into Unreal Engine correctly, that's why. Sometimes it doesn't. If you send a piece like this, it doesn't work. Anyway, so this is the post. What's it called? The slat. This is a good shape. Like, I need to start making like my own library of stuff like this, because like that you could use this in a lot of things. Anyway, so yeah, we basically are designing our own primitives constantly, which is great. I'm always in Blender. I'm like, I wish their primitives did this, and I wish they were stayed parametric, right? So like that's like really a lot of the reason I I like Houdini. Okay, so we got these things. It's a couple of things, but we'll start talking about like the bigger form of this object, which will remain at the root level. So we're going to have, where are the floats? There they are. We need fence. Think about how the height's going to be called. It's like, am I calling everything out in a measurement, or am I going to make it all like a percentage of it? Like, how do I? And then I can also generate the pillar from this. What's that thing called? Whatever that thing's called. Yeah, the pillar. Well, at least we'll have width. Well, this is like the total fence width. So now we're working at like fence level. So fence width, and we are gonna max at 4, and it's really gonna be 2. Is how this is working out for the system that I think it looks good at 2 increments, but we'll have it at 4 for the demo. So how does height work? And am I making the post the same object? I would like to. I'd like to be able to see it all at once and art direct it all at once. So I guess I will make this all one piece. So yeah, so fence height, all that thinking for literally nothing. Yeah, it's fence height. So fence height. I could probably like track my live stream and see like how many decisions I could make before getting tired in the morning. Like that was a decision. I had to think about that. There's only so many of those that can happen. So we'll start with 2 because I want, and 2 is what it's at right now. So that's what we change. 2 and 2. So this decides the slat height becomes driven by this as a percentage of like how much lower. Oh, it's so slat height is actually going to be like fence height offset. And let me look at how this fence actually looks. Yeah, because like basically these are lower than these, so it's kind of like what it kind of is like whatever we define this like little arrowhead point as, like this height is essentially like these start right below that. So there'll be a way to tie this together in like a nice parametric way. So we have those. We're gonna make this in a second. That's really easy. Let's just, is it too early to copy the points through here or copy transform? Like look at that. I think we need to make these posts, and I have I know the name of these because I've had to make them. What do you call post? Wait, really? For some reason I thought that was gonna be called something else, but whatever. Fence post kid. Okay. The order does kind of matter. Like, so I'm gonna make, we just defined like its global, like the full fence width and then the full fence height. So with that height, I think it makes sense to start building out this. Damn it, what the fuck is this thing called? It's a post? I thought it was something else. I have it in the game, the name of it. I need names of things. Post, is it really post? I have it in the game. Where is this? This is my broken for loop. I can't figure this out. I'm getting like a forever for loop, whatever they call that. I'm making an infinite loop for myself as I'm like initializing all the vertex color arrays. I don't know what's happened, but I just disconnected it and it works now. What is this fucker called? Oh, we gotta get back into single monitor mode here. Hold on. Get in there. That'll work. What did I call this? I need the name. Where's my other fences? There it is. Damn it, I wrote fence. I didn't name it. Fuck. Okay, we're calling it a post. Fuck it. It's a post. So I have to redesign how this gets used because we don't directly call this one. This is going to be calculated from that one. So it's time to start adding more parameters. So we have the slats built. We're going to need the posts. So I'm going to say post. Post is a cube, so it's going to have a crap. Essentially a 3-vector width, height, depth, and then I need to consider like how am I gonna, like how much modeling am I gonna do on this? Like this could be like a, you know, the little acorn arrow thing at the top could be a profile. Oh, okay, so they're a little different. This one's a profile that gets swept. I have the HDA for that one already, and then this one's the same thing. I suppose that's the way to go. leave it as a ramp. Let me see if my HDA works for that. Ooh, that's rough. I'll make the global one first. So this is gonna be post width. Have to actually hit enter. Post height. Okay, we have capitalized, but not enough. Post height. Post depth. Actually, the width is the depth. It's square. So let's get rid of that. Post width and height, and then we'll start with that. Let me see if this HDA I have made already is gonna help me out at all. At some point, this is all gonna start to work together. Right now, it does not. I don't think. Cornice straight. Profile. I think it's this. I think it's the CT profile. Let's see what this makes. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, so it basically, like, this profile could then be swept, though it's turned into a polygon already. But this essentially maps this maps like a profile to this ramp, which it's not that many nodes to do this, but it's kind of nice to just pull it out. But at the same time, if I sweep this or rotate it, or actually, I don't know how you do it. Like, it's called like a revolve in other programs. I don't know if I've done that here yet. I don't know what's gonna happen. But this is the top of the fence in like kind of like a generic parametric way. It can be like any shape. It can be boxy. It can be rounded and sculpted. But that being said, I don't know how you revolve this thing. Revolve? Hey, there's revolve. Okay. Oh, well, we're all done then. Okay, cool. I wonder how the geometry's in there. It's a lot of faces. Well, there we go. So then this can all be driven by like this, which is cool. Okay. So what parameters did I expose for this thing? I could push this up into here. What I really need is like presets. I haven't gone and done like a bunch of presets for this, but let's start with this. So this looks like it's gonna work out. So I'll take this. This thing has a height, a depth, and segments. So we are going to do... I have to give this a height, a depth. Those are the main ones. So how does that work out here? Basically, like, what gets who drives what? This should always drive this. So how is that gonna work? Let's do height first. So we have our total fence height, and then we have... Wait, fence height is post height for now. Like, this drives that one. So that's redundant. And so what we really have is like post top height. Is like an offset basically. So we don't need post height. Post height is fence height. Post width is this thing's depth. So it's just changing this name and it's all fine. Okay, so post height. We're gonna say post top height. Post top height. So let's make it like, we'll make it really big for now. What's post width? I don't remember. I guess we call that, or is it? Yeah, we're calling that. That's our design. So we'll say it's like 20 centimeters. We'll say our post height is 0.4 centimeters. So post height is going to then drive this here. Seems gigantic. It is gigantic, but it's okay. And then post width drives our depth, maybe divided by 2, I believe. We'll see. Because that's going to push it out 0.2, but then it has a backside, so it's really this divided by 2. So times 0.5. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the height's a little bit heavy. We also have a lot of geometry in here. This needs a Oh yeah, yeah. We got all sorts of shit on top of each other. So this needs like this has like a inside, so it's not like the ideal. It's not just a profile. I turned it into a polygon because I was using it for like trims. But we made a missile. What's it called when you like merge them all together? Is it a merge? It's just a crap. What's it called when you like get rid of you combine all the vertices that are like on top of each other? Here. Add boolean blast clean dissolve. So much of the battle is just knowing that these exist and then remembering what they're called. Fuse, yeah, yes, all fused together. It's like, so it's not that efficient, but okay. So let's drop some params in here because this is looking crazy. Or some. So the width, it's not likely to ever be 0.5, and the height is not going to be 10. It's also not going to be 0.5. Let's see how bad that looks on the params. It's pretty good. Okay. Oh, that's heavy. That's expensive. It's because it's driving this whole ramp curve. It's going to make the demo slow. Oh, well. And then this is the width. Yeah, that's a fence top right there. We get fancy. So I could promote up or expose this and this here. I guess I should. It's like a ramp driving a ramp forever. I could never get this to work in Cinema 4D. So in Houdini, it's all like very flexible. You can just keep driving up from the parent. That's nice. And I finally used one of my pre-made HDAs to make my life easier. So this is it's exponential possibly. Like the more of my own primitives I make, the more time I save over time. Okay. So we got lots of numbers on. Oh, I turned on like point numbers and face numbers. That's why this looks so heavy. Okay. Got a missile. I guess I'll promote up because we want everything here. Let's not F this up though. Do I lose this? I lose this if I do that though because this won't. Wait. I make it here. I copy and paste it over. Then I connect it. And segments, I guess segments I'd expose to. So let me add a ramp parameter to this. Where are you? How do I do that? Ramp parameter. Ramp float. Houdini is not a program you want to walk away from for like 2 months and come back. Like forget. Or I would forget a lot of it. Just like Blender. I like don't know how to use Blender anymore. This is a post top ramp. Yeah, sure. Post top ramp. Top ramp. I don't remember how to do all these things. Color type. I thought I chose a not color one. Didn't I say float? Ramp is float. Color type. So you basically just don't use that one if that's not there. I don't remember. I have to look more into like saving presets. There's all this. I don't even know what that means. Default point. Yeah, I don't know what these are. A default. Okay, so it's like when you start adding. I see. So for like the user, like if you know all of your things should be linear, you can like preset it to be that way. Okay, so that's not so bad. So the first part is I kind of need this jumping off ramp here. So copy parameter, and I want the actual value. Good. Okay, and then we want to take this and then drive this here. I don't know if that happened. I think it did. Yes. Okay, cool. So now this ramp drives this ramp, which drives the blah, blah, blah. So that's passed up here. And that is it for now. I'll leave the subdivisions not exposed. I guess why not? I'll put them, I'll pass them forward, pass them up to integer here. I'm going to say post top divs divisions. I'll just write it out. Top divisions 12. How do we do this? No, copy and drive it. So we'll did I do that right? Yeah, okay. So it's all driven now from this main one. That works. Ugh. Where can I find real dimensions of real objects in the real world? Oh man, I had to. It's hard. I think Home Depot's website's really good, and then I have like a ton of books on it. It depends on like where in the world you live, right? So like I live in the U.S., so I buy all the American Dimension books, but I have a whole bunch of them over there, just to get like jump off points and like know how like learn how construction works. Home Depot's a good start. And then I have, what's this guy's name? I bought all his books. Something Ching, Chinese. Yeah, something like that. All the building code books, they're really good. That's how I learned how to build those houses, because I had no idea what I was doing at first. I get like, when I was building my first, I mean, they still don't look that good, but when I was building my first 3D house, it looked like a 5-year-old was doing it. Like I don't think about how houses get built. It's like not ever part of what I did. Anyway, so we have this top ramp. It's parameterized, so a lot of the artwork happens here, like, you know, designing it out. So that's cool. That's something you can't really do that in any. Well, I guess you could. Anyway, it would be much harder to do this in Maya or Blender. You'd have to write like a legit plugin to do it. Okay, so that's the top of that post. So let's make the. It's not set up right though, of course. So it's gonna get positioned. So I'll position it now, and then I'll just do the box under it, like the square part. So this gets transformed up the height minus the height, like the fence height minus the our defined top of the post height. We could have also, there's a lot of ways to do this, but this works fine. Did that do anything? Did that work? Did that offset do things? It must have, I just didn't see it. But the top of this should be at 2, hopefully now. Or at fence height, which is 2 currently. So there's that part. A little bit of artwork's got to go down, and then I guess it's just a cube for now. So we're going to start to merge soon so I can see these things at the same time. At least these are going to get merged. It's not the most efficient mesh. I should probably make this profile more generic so that it... Oh, was there a Z fight? No, it's just like the weird Houdini shading. Okay, that's fine. There's like faces that should get blasted, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to leave them though. So I'm going to make a box. Can't type box. There it is. And leave you templated. Is that what's called? Okay, yeah. We got... Is there chaos in here? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. There's all these faces in there. That's because it was a full mesh. It's not a profile. So there's all these inside. Good God. That's going to make you Venus chaos. Fuck. Okay, so I need to make like this this profile HDA here. It needs like a checkbox. Is like, should it be a full mesh or just a profile? Can I open this? Oh, I can. I mean, there's not much in here. And I think, what is this thing? It's a line. See, this is what I don't want to have to figure this out every single time I do this. I figured it out once, just want to use it again. And it's just exposing it to make it useful. Skinning. See, I don't remember how this works. I built this twice to build those like parametric trim cornice things, and then but I don't remember how it works. Like, when does this become like an actual mesh? Is the skin? And then to edit this, I have to go find the the hip file it's in. I might just leave it. I gotta advance this profile to make it work better. Anyway, we'll ignore the fact that this has like 12 times too many polygons. It's more than that. It's like 48 times. It's 12 times however many we went around. Has too many. So we have this box, and we've defined post width already. So that's going to be X and Z. And its height is going to be the same parameter as this transform. And then we do whatever this height turns out to be times 0.5 or negative 0.5. That is not it. And I wrote 0.5. What am I trying to do here? Times 0.5? There it is. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Now, if you don't bring the profile itself to the edge, it won't look right. So that kind of does it like this. And then our height, oh boy. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, now does this thing go above it? Like, what's the... Okay, so it goes... In this case, it's within it. And in this case, it goes outside of it. So... this is different. Like, this has to get done differently. So what's driving this profile? It's currently depth times 0.5. So it would be nice if at 0 it would perfectly align with it, and then at negative or plus values it would go outside or in it, or I just make it too big and then I do it in the curve. Currently there's no way to go past it, so if I get rid of this 0.5 here, it goes over it, which is what you'd want, and then you basically have to control it within the curve. I think that that's okay. I'm gonna see if I can get it done that way. Yeah, I thought this had a lot of polygons in it. Oh well. That means I can't UV it. If I don't fix this, I can't UV it. So we'll have to fix it. But I'll leave that for the next part. So let's see. So we have the post. We have that. It just needs better artwork. It's better, a little bit of the dance in this curve or this curve here. So we'll merge these together, and that's the post for now. Un-UV'd and kind of messed up. But there's the post. Okay, so when we go back to Unreal Engine, this post owns static mesh, and then the middle part is its own static mesh. But I want HDA to put them in the same thing to design them. But eventually they get broken out into their own meshes, which I haven't done that before. I just do it very manually. I know it can all be like pipelined into like Python and like Shotgun, etc. But like I just do it by hand for now. I just like hide a mesh, export it, turn it back on. So not doing it the right way just yet. So this is the post. Yeah. Now these boxes and subnetworks, I still don't like using these yet. I haven't figured out a way. I don't know. I still don't know how I like to organize these graphs yet. And they get overwhelming really quickly. Once they're like 10 times taller than this, it's like I have a very hard time following them. So I gotta figure out how I want to subnetwork them. So this post, and so am I gonna keep this thing centered or keep it into positive? I think I'm gonna keep it not centered. We're just gonna start pushing into positive X. So we have a copy to points situation. So this is the post. I forget the order of copy to points. Let me just write it down. It could just be a copy and transform, right? We don't have to get. It's centered, so it's fine. Yeah, we're not. This one doesn't like iterate, so it's just copy to points or copy transform. That's even lighter. I don't have to make a line. Right, we just do this. Copy it. There's 2 of them, and whatever the fence width is, we're translating into positive X. Yeah, that's definitely the latest way to get that done. My daughter's back. Hi. Okay, so those are the 2 posts. They're ugly and super high poly. I could just make them like... No, I want to make this work. I want to start using like my other HDAs in these. Okay, so we have those things, and then now I guess it's time to start thinking about placing the slats within there. So it should be a line, and then it has an X number of points in it, and then we have a bool that like does different selects of the points that you copied to, but it's the same post, and I can expose that up. So we should make it so that it's perfectly in between these 2 posts, and then it perfectly divides them out. So to do that, we need to have... This gets driven by the... Wait a minute. So we do slat number. That's the way that you... Wait, is it number? Or is it... We can also do density. It's like how many per meter. That doesn't work. It has to be... So like putting the slats in between here, it needs to be... How many? which takes it away from the real world. Once you do it by like how many, and then you let the algorithm decide the widths, then the widths can get kind of weird. You see it? Could you see the ladybug with your eyes? I can't. I'm working right now, but I'll get it later. Or mom can get it. So it's really like a, yeah, this is the best way to do it to make it like actually useful. You just have to be careful not to get into like weird widths. So we're gonna have slat number, and if you control the density essentially by slat number by the width, the relationship of width to number is the density. You could also just do density, like how many slats per meter, and then it'll just keep that for you. Well, I think this is gonna work. So say slat amount. Bring this up to like 50, I don't know. So yeah, let's start with 10. It's kind of it's a good number and a dangerous number to work with. It's like it's too easy, and then also things go wrong. But so slat width is now going to get driven. So I'm going to, I don't know how to deal with this, but I'll get there. So we got these two posts. There's got a warning on that one. So we need a line. Line is going to be the easiest way to do this. Just template this. Look at this line. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to be going across into Y or into X. Positive X, and your length is width minus fence post width. Length here minus post width. Need a hotkey for that. Okay, and then we have an offset. Can I offset that? Yeah, I can change the origin now. Does that fuck up things? Like if I move, I'm gonna do it as a separate node. I don't know if, or I feel like changing the origin changes the I don't exactly understand it. Something with like, I feel like it changes the pivot, where I want to keep the pivot the same but just move it. I think that's the way to think about it. And I want to move it half a post width in X. No. I think I wrote 8.5. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Okay, so that leaves, yeah. So this is, its origin is still at 0, but we just moved it over. Now, actually, I don't know if I like that. So what happens if we add a bunch of points to this thing? What happens? Where are the points? I can't see points. There we go. Well, that's fine. I don't like that the points and the origin are like the same exact thing. I can tell the difference. Like that's smaller, but they're the same color. I feel like the origin should be like its own special looking thing. So we got these dots, and how many dots is driven by, where'd it go? This slide amount. And then you can do a Boolean that'll do every other. So if I do, and then the width gets now, okay, so it's actually going to be just straight up post width like that. No. Okay, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? I should be centering this one probably with different logic. And what did I say for this? This is the length. Length minus the post width times 2, I guess. Is that what's going on? There it is. Yeah, okay. So now if I copy the... this always screws me up trying to get this right. Then if I center these... Let's just put them on there. I have no idea. I'm just going to put them on there. So we're going to do copy the points. I need to see it. This stuff always gets me. That's the geometry. These are the points. Those are the points. Do I have to group it? I forget. Move these over here. Go there. Okay. Now that I can tell that this is already not going to work. So I need to be able to perfectly fill that out. So what is the main issue here? Like, what is the thing that's stopping this from working? Other than working on one monitor. How do you do this? I always forget how this works. So, okay, so width gets driven essentially by some number, some modification of width divided by that. It's not that simple, but it's going to be something like this. And then how many people are using slat width? I abstracted too high. I should have done all of this at first. That would have been the nice thing to do, is to like done this in 2D and gotten this layout, but I can still make it work. But we're gonna end up jamming like a ton of stuff into here, which is ugly. I don't want expressions in my user interface. All the expressions should live in the nodes. Let's save. Okay, so because if I just make these fatter, it's not gonna work. So what is that distance? The line we already have the line distance, so that's this. That looks about right. Let me look at this again. Where's the line? No, that's the add. Where'd the line go? So this, okay, yeah, that's what's wrong. Wait, no, that's because of the transform. There we go. So the hope, so we're gonna multiply again. Half, maybe not. Wait, is it the number of dots? So I need to get this width. Is it the width of this one? I think it's the width between here and here divided by the number of slats is the width of that, maybe. So this is, so the math for this one minus the 0.2. This is gonna be so ugly looking, but okay. So we're gonna start driving this from the other parameters. I gotta kind of hide this one eventually. Okay, so let's see. This is gonna get. I should have laid this out first. What's that gonna be? Let's just do immediately divided by. It's gonna crash. Oh no, that's okay. Because we're not viewing it either. Let's just see what that gives us. Not bad. We're off by just a little bit. Right, because like this is like the version where they perfectly fill it, so we're off by like half of. The question is it the width off, or am I doing this wrong? I'm always so bad at getting like things to tile in between other things like this, and this is like the point of Houdini. I want to be able to hit this on the first try. I don't have to like hack through it like this. So like, why did I screw this up? It's off by. This stuff always confuses me. The transform right now. And what happens is when I put them on there, they're going out of bounds by half of a fence post width. So is it the width? Is the width wrong, or are the dot placements wrong? The points. So yeah, is it the geometry, or is it the points that are off, or is it both? I'm having a hard time seeing it. Let's look what happens if I drop slat amount to 1. Super crazy looking. What? Oh, okay. So slat. Okay, here we go. So slat amount needs to drive the number of points on the line, because that's static. So let's do that. That's interesting. There's 2. Slat amount 1. Okay, so this. What? So how many points are there? And there's a warning. What's the warning? The curve could not be built with the specified parameters. Because you can't have just 1 point. So it's always going to be. Wait, what? It's gonna. So okay. So if there's only 1, that means there's 2. If there's 2, is it just +1? Is that all it is? Like that. And now let's see what's going on. So you can't have 1 for some reason. Oh, because I'm doing copy to point. Oh god. Okay. So this is I need to figure out a way of automating this, because I end up solving this over and over again. Maybe I should just do copy and transform. I think that's what it is. I think that that's going to make this a lot easier. If I just, like... I'm going to delete this. I think I am. I'm going to give it a shot, because this ends up being, like, too confusing for me to be able to figure out quickly. Now, where did my post go? Hold on. What happened to you? Oh, you're being driven by... Okay. Okay. I see. Let's make this just a number. 2. That's gigantic. 0.1. There we go. You're just a number again. And we're just going to copy and do things. So this still has its trickiness. So how much do I move you over? That's based on post width, and then we have this, and we'll just copy, because then I don't have to manage, like, it should be easier. So we're going to do copy and transform, but we have to transform now. Copy and transform, it must start. Okay, so that post is centered though. Okay, so there's issues either way. I mean, so I could move this whole thing over, but copy and transform is going to take its origin, so I need to move, like, its pivot. I don't know how to do that, actually. I don't know how you move pivot in this. Is that centroid or something? Okay, so this has issues too. Well, I could do it, actually, I could do it all together. So let's do this. We'll get the main thing working. So we're gonna, whatever the width, oh, and the width is calculated, son of a bitch. Okay, so we're gonna take this. I should have thought about this. I thought this was gonna be easier. I'm like, oh, it's like a fence. It's gonna be nothing. It's gonna chill. But... So this is the main thing that tiles it, is this. Right, and if I crank this up, we start getting that. So, like, that's our main behavior that we want. Oh crap! How am I gonna do every other? Damn it! That was why the points was so easy. I could just, like, do like a group range select every other on the points on a switch, and that was gonna be it. This one is now. Okay, this one for different reasons is not as good, and these are harder things to choose to fix, I think, actually, or is it not? It's trying to think, like, down the chain how this is gonna look. And this is trickier than I thought it was gonna be. I like it though. What time is it? 9:45. We got it. Definitely gonna be making both of these today. Be done with it. It will work if I go this way. The copy becomes different, and then so does the width. The width should be the same no matter what. It's just you're doing every other. So how does that affect this? Like, what's driving this copy? It's the number of them. I need to draw this into Photoshop, draw the parameters later. But let's do it. We need the width, and we know that. And this calculation was almost right now. Okay, so let's start hooking these up, hook up the things we know that are gonna work. So slat amount is definitely copy a total number right there. So we drive it here, right? But obviously it's not right. So we'll leave it at 8. So the next thing is that we need to set the width for now based on the width minus the post width divided by that. So it's going to be, I think that we almost had it before, but anyways, it's going to be fence width minus, I shouldn't leave the minus in there, it's going to freak out. The post width here, maybe divided by 5, I don't know, by 0.5, I'm not sure. Okay, so what the fuck? Oh yeah, we haven't done the division yet, so we wouldn't know. This is where the line's helpful, because that shows you that you see a visual representation if you got the math right. And then we'll just divide it and we'll see how far off. Oh, good God. And then we'll divide it by this. I like the line way better, but it gets confusing on its own. Okay, and then we just transform over. Oh, and it's centered, but that's okay. We can still get it. It's so we're just transforming at the end. I don't like this at all. I don't like building them like this. It's too confusing. As soon as there's two offsets, it starts to throw me off pretty bad. Like this is offset in two different ways. Like it would be better to have aligned that, but copy and transform takes does it from the pivot, not from like any like Anyway, it's fixable. So we're gonna start with one transform over. We're moving over half the post width and half post width and also half slat width. Something like that. So I don't like these two transforms, but we'll do this one first. So this will offset the post width. I think there's probably a simpler, more elegant way of doing this. Oh no. Oh, we're not looking at it. Okay, what did I write in here? Times L5. Cool. Point L5. Now, what did that do? Let me look at this. Okay, that's a move in the right direction. So that's... And I think the dependencies of this is getting kind of odd. I could either write this expression again, or I can reference this. I don't remember. I'm going to do the expression itself. Like this whole field, not what's in it. But like whatever this calculates, we do it based on that. So we are currently adding plus whatever this field is, apparently times 0.5. That's it. Okay, got it. That did it finally. Okay, so now we have these perfectly in between there. That was a little bit lighter. Had I built this fence this post not centered, would have been easier, but it would have been a more annoying ad, or it just would have been a different ad. It would have been harder to write. So now if I do this, there we go. Perfect. Great. So this is exactly the behavior we want. Is like that. Cool. So next, I don't like this parameter in here at all. I don't like leaving this in here. I'm not sure how to get rid of it. You could probably just make it invisible. Is that possible? But then how do I program it? I don't know. I should have this should have been like a, I'm just going to call these a class variable, but we don't expose it to the, but I still need to be able to program it. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Or I basically, I could have made this its own HDA, like this slat, and then just, yeah, fed it. Yeah, I could have done it that way. That would probably be the way to do it in the future. Okay, so that's most of it. So I should probably build in the every other thing right now. Let me look at the fence again. So how does this one work? Oh, so this placement's a little bit different, but okay, yeah, that one's more like a copy to points to line one, like much easier. Versus it's not actually every other. And every other depends on if it's an odd or even amount too, whereas that, it shouldn't really matter. It should be, that's more the copy to points way. So I'll start with the big fence for now. We'll just keep big picture. Well, we got those there. So let's see. So we want these to be lower now. So we have our post. Where's the height of this slat? It's this one. Okay, so this gets driven now by, we don't have it. We don't have a number for it. These, I should have made this. I guess it's not too late. I should basically make this an HDA or a subnetwork that has its parameters, and then we drive this instead of, like any of these ones with expressions, those should be on the HDA down there. I just don't want to keep diving deeper into the inception of HDAs. I want to kind of keep it all in one, but then you end up with this, and I don't like that. I don't want to show this either to the peoples. It's too much work to strip this out now because there's all this logic that's based on it now. Okay, so bad design. I should have because anytime like these become calculated, they should not be exposed here. So I didn't think about that. Like these are the teeth in the mouth. Like they should have been. They should be an HDA. Those should go there, and I'm not gonna untangle it at this point though. So slat height gets driven, and we're just gonna put it all in one. It's gonna look ugly. I can like hide them in a folder later when I make the demo. So we have a slat. Now, what is this height offset? That's for the shape. And so I need to do a fence. I need to say, this is the slat height. We need the height offset. Like how much lower than it is it than the fence height itself. And it's driven. So that goes here. So these are the real variables that are driving those ones. Sort of. So anyway, so we're going to do slat height. I already have this as a thing. So that's like the other one's like the slat height shape offset. This is like its global height offset. So I'm going to call it slat height global offset. That's not the best name, but call this height global offset, or name this one shape. But I don't remember if it is going to rename things for me, so I'm going to not mess with it. So it's never going to be more than a meter offset from it. So put it like here. So this now drives this one. So it's going to be this fence height. Uh-oh. Okay, so wait, what? Copy parameter. How come I can't paste that in there? Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? Fence height. What's going on with this thing? Copy parameter. Slat height. Yo. What is this? How come I can't paste that in there? Slat height. This is... I guess I could just manually do this too. I don't have to have it be a function of this height. What is this? This is just nothing then. Okay, those two had to be related. This one could just be... It's going to make the demo stupid though, but it's not... I mean, it's not going to make the demo like as nice as I would like it to be. We're like changing this height. I really want them to be linked, but I can't get them to link for some reason. So copy parameter. Why is that? Do I have to do it from here? How come I can't paste this into there? I'm about to just type it. Is this linked somewhere? How come I can't do this? So you just do channel this. It's probably gonna give me an error or something. What's going on with this one? So let's say let's say that the slat height is just for now. Oh god, what did I call this thing? Fence height. How come I can't make this an expression? There's something about this one that's it's like is it because I'm like using it somewhere? I don't like putting expressions in here anyway, but crap. That makes this demo way less cool than I wanted it to be. That sucks. This sucks. Okay, so I fucked up. I need to make the slat in HDA so I can get these things in here and drive them from these. Damn it. Damn it. I guess it's not that much work. Kind of is though. I need to strip out. So with height depth, these 5 variables go onto this. They get removed from that. Is it worth actually doing that? I think I'm gonna not do that. What happens if I move this? Nothing. Okay, good. So I'll just zero it. Okay, never mind. It puts itself... How come I can't put expressions in this one? What the hell? Like, so I'm gonna save. Starting to lose track of what it is I'm doing. So wait, so I need to drive this height from this height. Like, what if I want to make this one that value? I don't get it. Why is that? Is it like out of nowhere? Like, what is this? What's wrong with this piece? It's almost done. I mean, I just got to put the horizontals in and this is done. And then do the every other. Put them in the engine. Go make a wood texture. What the hell's going on with this thing? This one allows it. This one... You can't do that to any of them. Where is this fence? How come I pasted this into here? Channel width is based on that one. I don't get what did I do? I'm gonna go look in here. I'm trying to drive slat height. Slat height. What's up with this? I don't see anything different about it. This could be something about Houdini I just don't understand. Like, what if... Can I paste this anywhere? What if I copy parameter? What if I just randomly put it here? Oh, okay, so I can't even do it here. So something's wrong. Bigger picture here. I'm going to just do this. This is probably not going to fix it, but I don't know. It's not just that one node. It's globally I am not able to do it for some reason. Just give it a restart. What the hell is that? This is like, is it half done? I think we're more than halfway done with this thing. File, fence 2. Okay. Let's try this again. Fence height. Why can I not copy? Do I have to copy from here? There. Whatever. Fence height minus this offset. Yeah, it's gonna break. If that was a bevel, it would have crashed. We gotta be careful with that. Or it's possible they could have crashed it. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, there it is. So essentially these are like local variables, or they're like an HDA variable. They shouldn't be on the UI here, but that's all we want. So that when I drive height, it comes with it. Like I want that. I want it to look like that. Like that's the cool part. Less thinking, less clicking. Okay, I don't know why it was broken before, but or I couldn't do it. I'm sure I probably I did something. I don't know what. There's no lesson. I just don't know. I'm just confused. Okay, so what's left? It's I guess I should figure out the every other logic. Yeah, maybe. Let's just make this one. And the cross beams. Yeah, the cross beams. Yeah, so let's look at how this is going down. So we're basically making this one. So we'll just say that, oh, I was going to make 2 versions of it. Or I just make a separate HDA. I don't know. Is there a point in making a mega HDA out of this? What am I gaining by combining these together? I guess it's just like a challenge more than anything. So those are just right down the middle. That's just a cube on both sides. So basically there is 2 of these. The offset, now these are off the ground as well. These don't, mine are just gonna go right into the ground, but there's 2 of these, and the offset from this to here is the same as from this to there. I'm gonna make it that way. And then there's the option of the middle one. So the switch just turns that off. This could be mirrored. It could be 2 different ones with their own transforms. I think I'm gonna mirror it. So make this cube, transform it, mirror it, and then one right in the middle based on the height of the slat, not the total fence. Okay, that one's with think easy. I don't know. So we'll see. So this is, let's just merge these so we can look at them at the same time. Untemplate. So there's our fence. Let's get rid of these points. I should probably design the UI first. That's kind of, but it's hard to know ahead of time. It's probably easier just to clean it up. So now, so these have basically full dimensions. What's going to be an offset, what's not going to be an offset. Width is determined. Height, we tell it in real world dimensions, and width, depth is kind of an offset. Like it wants to be, depth would have to be less than this, so it could be an offset of this one as well. So let's not mess this up like I did this one, essentially. I think I know how to do it. I got. So we're gonna do. I'm just gonna crawl. What do we call these things? What are they called? Cross. They're like, I'm going to call them dividers. Yeah, I'll just call them dividers. They're horizontal dividers. Okay, so we're going to have... I mean, I want to drop all three, but they're not like, this width parameter gets driven. So this is the UI. So like, what are we driving? So the question, so it's divider height. We just tell it that. And its depth is going to be an offset. So we tell it that too, but it's like kind of like half one. So we're going to call this divider depth offset, and then there's going to be a another offset from the, it's like a, I don't know, position, I'll call it position offset. So divider position offset, it's like the height position offset versus it like the height shape. I should come up with like a name, like a difference between height, like when I say like height of the object shape and then height of its position. I don't know if language exists for that already. It'd be helpful because that's going to always need to be differentiated here and more succinctly than having to write it all out every time, but we'll see. And then the Boolean let's call it toggle. So we're gonna say this is like the, I don't know how to name these. I guess I always want to name them bool. That's kind of like a Unreal thing. So like a toggle, toggle. I don't like calling it toggle. I'm gonna call it bool middle divider. Middle divider. I'm not gonna use question marks like I do with Unreal. So there we go. So dividers needs a capital one apparently. So divider height. Okay, those are gigantic. Yeah, so we gotta chill that out. We gotta chill this out. Height position offset, depth offset, divider, middle divider. Okay, that's easy. So starts off with a box. Let's look at that box. Okay, you're not templated. There we go. So when do you transform it? I kind of want to transform it immediately so I can see yeah, I just want to transform immediately. Oh, we could do that with the center. I don't know if I want to. I guess I will. Yeah, they're all driven by the same thing. So this fence width is its scale this way. And then its center is the same thing times 0.5. Now it's centered. Now, actually, that's not the case. Yeah, well, I could have it just like, I'm gonna just leave it like that. Technically I could pull it in halfway, but then the math gets more annoying and I don't want to do it. So we have our, next is height. So that's easy. That's this. It's probably some crazy value right now. It is, yeah, so we'll bring this down. Rearrange that in a second, and then the depth offset will be the fence post width minus that offset. So this here, so that would make it exactly the size of the post, and then we have a depth offset. So this is like a depth shape offset. This is a height position offset. I need to figure out how I want to call those things. What did I do? Plus? What did I do here? What? Post width minus... Oh, so this value is just gigantic is what happened, right? So, it's got to be small. That's all. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So we drew this object centered. Definitely shouldn't be centered. So I guess I could do that here. I can change the center of it. That's, so the pivot stays where it is and we're moving it relative. The pivot stays the same when we do center. So I need to remember that. Like this is our pivot adjustment it's called the center. It's called an origin in Blender too. So it's makes more sense. I guess pivots are kind of like more temporary. Whereas like this is origin in Blender. So if I want to move it up, Yeah, wait, how am I gonna flip this? What's gonna be the easiest? Yeah, I'm gonna move it up, whatever half its height is. So divider height, and we'll move it up, and then I'll flip it, and I have to control how how the mirror works. So that's the middle post for now. I'm gonna leave those for here, and we're not rocking this yet. So this is just a Y transform. Now, is it the center? It's not. This is not. Now we're not dealing with the pivot. We're dealing with an actual transform, I think. And this is going to move it up way too high, given, yeah, so it's like above it. So it goes like here, and then we mirror it, but the mirror is is there. So I don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't know if mirror has an offset. It probably has some sort of something to help me out with this. So we're mirroring on Y. Ah, and it's doing it down. So wait a minute. So I could basically do this here and then transform this, or change the origin of the mirror. And it's currently at 0. So what happens if I start moving this? I think that's what we do. Yeah, we go that way. We move it up to here. So that's half of whatever this is. So do I have slat height? It's this. Am I going to reference this and divide it by 2, or do I put the actual expression in it? Because if I reference it and I get rid of it, I'm going to do it like this. This is a mess, but I think it's this divided by 2. It is, but this is kind of gross. If I don't know, I feel like that could go wrong pretty easy, but anyway, that's the behavior. And then hopefully, oh, I see. Okay, well, is that right? I suppose this height position, it could be a percentage, like if I wanted it to like shrink with it, but it still gets the idea across. This could be a percentage of, like, you know, what percent do you move it up so that it's not like an absolute value, but that still gets it going. That's it. This is it. And the middle divider is just a Boolean. How do you do Boolean? It's a switch. Is that what we call it? Yeah, so it's a switch where it's input. So here's input 1. So this is with it off. And then we switch a merge. I forget how this works, but I need another one of these things. And it's just centered. So it's kind of like another one of these, I think. Just take this. Let's template that one. I guess I don't have to template it. So what did this transform do? This one just goes, wait a minute. What the fuck am I looking at? I'm confused. Okay, wait, let's template this thing and look at this one. Okay, so it's the right dimension and it got transformed. Oh, and I want to center this one, so I'm going to get rid of this. This will keep it centered. Well, that's not how you do it. So now it's centered, and then we move it to, what is this? Divider position offset. No, I don't know. Oh, it's definitely not that. So we're going to delete this one. I should just start from scratch. Sometimes like having to figure it out is more annoying. Now it's pivot somewhere crazy. What's this thing? Wait, what's your pivot? You're centered. Then I moved it up. Nowhere. Okay, that was an error. This is what it should be. We move it up to half here, which I use that for this mirror offset. So this is this value. Yeah. So that should stick right to the middle no matter what. Yeah, cool. Back to 2. Middle divider. And so if it's off, it's this one. And if it's on, it's a merge of this into that. I gotta UV these two. I should have UV'd them. I should have thought about UV. Well, we'll UV them after, but how do I merge this in there? How does this work again? So we have a merge here. We can merge with nothing. Is that how this works? Like go like this? like that. Okay. I merge with a null. I never remember how that works. Like if this has materials and stuff on it, like how it treats that. I gotta figure that out. So it's the other way. Like this. And then we drive. I'm gonna call this one. I don't know what I'm gonna call this one. No, it's this one. This is the switch for middle divider. And the input's driven by this boolean or whatever the hell is this toggle. So this merge goes down there. Divider. There we go. Cool. That's a lot of it. I mean, that's technically it. It's just ugly. I gotta make it look better. And then UV it. And they all get the same material. Oh, what the hell is that? What is this box? What did I hit? That's a restart. I don't know how to get I don't know how to get rid of this thing. What? Oh my god, what is this? Oh no. Wait, what? Can I hit escape to get out of here? Oh my god, what is this? It's like a screen zoom? What the fuck is this thing? I don't know how to get rid of that. I don't see like a little X either. Crap. My app's probably the same as like this. It's like you hit a number key on a Cine Tracer. It's like I try to put little X's on everything that pops up so you can get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of that. It's just not just I guess just want to mess with it. Are we done? Is this it? Okay, so I need like the every other thing. And I gotta arrange these into something not ridiculous. So that's unusable, those ranges. So divider height. It's not gonna be 0.5. That would be very it's probably like 0.2 to be honest, but I'll do like 3. Depth offset. I think it's like very small. I don't remember. Height position offset. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's fine. And then so height position offset could be like a meter, and that's fine. So let's look at the. Okay, so we're maxed out on depth offset. What? Who? What? That one. So who's wider? This thing's wider. So this is currently doing the thing. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so let's merge this all together. This party, triple merge, untemplate. Gotta start naming stuff. It's getting kind of. Yeah, it looks a little weird. I always say the less you do, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So these are a little bit fat, a little bit. Those are the slats. So the slat depth is a little bit much. Kind of rein those back in. And now the other thing is too much. This thing. So we could use a little bit more out of that one, but I'll call it for now. That's pretty much it. Little bit of artwork to the top. I'll just art it out a little bit. So this post top height's a little bit off, right? So we'll do this. And what is the? We'll make this one first for now. So it's kind of like it's got a lot going on. So we'll simplify it to just being 1 in and up. Okay, so it's gonna be. It's pretty much actually it's really close to what it should be. Gotta get up in here. Let's see. So. That one's a curvy one. This one's linear. So that brings it down to here. And then what's going on with this? I see. Okay, so we'll bring this one completely to the center. Nope. 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 Yes. Nope. Yeah. Oh yeah, I should do this. There we go. That'll help. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, so then we gotta draw the acorn shape. And this probably is not so curvy. It's kind of like this. I see. It's kind of like that, but that looks terrible. But needs some more subdivisions. There's a trade-off with the topology. In the topology, this is insane. So this top part might need to get like kind of like swapped out. And we want this to go over. Okay, no, not that. Oh, damn it. So this one needs to go higher. So it's like over it, and that's an ugly fence top, but it kind of gets it in there. And I need an every other switcher but I can, because like the smaller fence doesn't have the middle divider, and then it goes every other. Okay. Now, this is the danger, is this here. So let's look at what's driving this. What drives that? So once I put the every other logic in it, then I just UV it, and it's done. I just gotta make them, just gotta dance the parameters around until it works. I guess I'll just leave that. So where's my copy to point? Where's the copy transform? Is this it? This is it. Okay, here's the copy. Oh, and then we transform after. It made this hard. This is not an easy thing to switch out. Or is it? Is it actually... Oh, no. It's not too... I think I got it. Okay, so we have... it's kind of like a high-level control, but I guess it's a slat thing, technically. So up here, we have our slat amount, which is not going to be right, actually. It's because... Whatever. Oh, actually, I could make it correct if I wanted to. So we're going to say... I don't know. Slat pattern. I'm going to say... every other for now. Okay, so we have, I need a little bit more room, no timelines. So there's two different copies, or we do it parametrically. I'm gonna just do two different. Oh no. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. So this is gonna be a switch. What's the switch if? I saw that. I don't know what that is. So for now, let's see. I guess I could have two of these networks, or I could try to dance this thing correctly. Nah, that's not gonna be it. Because I don't know how to put a bool in here. What does a bool become, like 0? So I could do like multiplication to implement the bool in the expression. That's too complicated. Too error prone. So I'm gonna do a, for now, a null. Wait, it's the other way. It's because I have it as every other is on, so we don't have that implemented yet. So it's actually this. Whoa, no, it's this way. So we got to implement that one. That's in the switch already. Oh, okay, it's like doing it for me already. Yeah, that's it. And then every other copy parameter drives this switcher. Okay, so currently, if I'm not every other, it's the full fence. Like the full thing goes in there, like this. I don't know why I'm clicking this so much. So what it is, it's the same thing, possibly, but we double and we halve something. So it's double the translate, but half the amount here. Yo, let me get in there. What's up with... Yo, I can't. It doesn't expand. Do I have to click it? Nope. There it is. Okay. What am I doing to this thing? Halving it. Oh, but what happens if it's something that doesn't divide by... Was it round it? Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work, but let's see. What? It's not quite right. The transform is different. There's a different transform, basically. But let's see. So the slat amount is wrong because it's like, it's, you know, you're defining how many across, and then we're just every other, but you kind of get the idea. Okay, so if it's an odd number, it's like edge to edge like that, and if it's even... Yeah, this is where copy to points is a lot cleaner. So it's because technically it should be like this, and then it centers. But there's a whole lot of not giving a fuck about that though. At the same time, like for now, I think I'm like mentally done doing that because it should technically be like always inset, and I don't want to implement it. It would just be making a different layout of those. I mean, I guess I could do it. I guess I will. Fuck. Then it's the other way. You put a line in the middle, you shave it off, and then yeah, I guess I'll do it the right way. Okay, so we have this should be an HDA, like, because I'm using it twice now, and it's like This should have been made into a subnetwork instantly. Only because I have two different versions in the same HDA, it just becomes like cumbersome and easier to get lost. I'm just gonna separate these networks. I guess I'll implement it the right way. The chances I come back and make this fence ever again this year about 0, so I should just get it right. I should make this an HDA on the way out of here, maybe like off stream after lunch or something, because I want this like little arrow shape. I forget what I'm gonna need this for, but I'm gonna need it for something. And I like the primitive design so far. So the cleaner way of dealing with this, because I'd have to deal with like even or odd, the way that copy doesn't work so well. So copy transform is really good if you want them edge to edge perfectly. Like that's like the way. But if you want this like every other spacing thing, then copy to points is much easier to manage. I wish I didn't delete the line. But this is the oh crap! Oh my god! There we go. Okay, so. Undo and Houdini, reliable. Undo and Unreal Engine. Some things work, some things do not work. So now I'll do the line thing again. I shouldn't have deleted it, but then again it was ugly. So let's look at this line. The fence went away. Something like that. Yeah, we'll do it line style. Already had the makings of this going. 0. Okay, line. So damn it, I had the math all for this, right? It's just annoying math. Okay, so it's fence width. Well, actually, I could. If I did it right, I'd have to do a select where I don't take the first and last one, or I do the math. Or I don't take the first and last. I have to do the math. Okay, screw it. Whatever. So we take the width and we're going to subtract the post width times 2, maybe something like that. I think it's just the post width actually. All right, so that's the exact width between those two. I can move it over. So if I change the origin now, is that what I want? Does it matter? I don't think it matters with this point. I'm gonna start putting the points up because that's what we're building here. We're putting where the slats are gonna get put. And so what is this? I am going to transform it. I don't know why. I feel like, well, we're not doing it center. I don't really know, but I'm gonna make it its own node. Okay, and we're gonna transform it over. I guess just half the same amount. The same thing again. No, just this one times 0.5. Yep, so that gets us directly between it. I'm gonna leave it like that. You can either do a range select where you take off the last points, or you can then further shrink it and then further offset it. I'm gonna leave it like this for some reason. And then it comes down to how many points are on this thing. So we have a number for that. I suppose we're going to use this one. Right? So in the case that we become, if that says 1, there needs to be 2. So we'll just add 1 to this. We need to keep this from getting to 0. I'll just do that right now. There's still no bevel. It's still not going to crash or something, but I still... 1 slat. I mean, it could be like 5 because there's never just 1. That's like ridiculous. But anyway, so we have that, and then we can do a range select or a group range. That's what it's called. And we're gonna call this group slat every other points. Doot. We don't want the first and we don't want the last, but we'll take everyone in between. This width isn't going to work, is it? And then we have to every other this one, which is this one of 2. It might work. The width needs to be technically calculated. I don't know. Actually, this might be perfect. I'm not sure. So those are the points. These are the geometry, and then we copy to those points. Copy the points. So geo points, and we got to give it the right group. No group. What? Points. What? Oh. What? Target source group. What about this group that we just made? I don't get it. Wait, what happened? Let's just see what happens here. Okay, that's too many. Huh. But what happened to my... How come I can't tell it what to do? Slate? Or it's slate. Slat. I can't tell it what group to use? Source group? What up? Where's the group? How do you get the info on this thing? This. Yeah, there's no groups. How about this one? I thought this made a group. What the heck? I could blast them away. Is that what I have to do? Do I have to blast? I thought I could tell it what group to use. Every other point is 6. There's a group in this one. Well, no, it just says point. Wait, what did I do a group wrong? Do I not understand how groups work? Oh, do you not put it there? It's been a second. I guess I don't remember how group range works. Name of the group is group... Wait, what? Do this. Uh-huh. Oh, did I have it as primitives? I don't think I did. I don't know. Offset every other. That's the selection. That's a group. Should be called group 1. When I copy the points, I should be able to find group 1 in there. No, that's not how this works. What the fuck? I guess I'm gonna blast them. That's... I don't remember it working that way. Can I group? But there was another. There was like a split. I think split was easy. It's like nicer looking. So there's group 1. I think it was that one. Well, there we go. Okay. I guess that's okay. And that is correct. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, the transform is wrong at the end. Okay, so this goes up here. Whoa. Like that. Get this guy out of here. Switch these inputs and merge it back down here. I don't like this order. Okay. And we're merging from there. As a switch, rather. And so... if I do this, how's this gonna... So the slat amount is like just wrong in a lot of cases. It's wrong unless you do this. Oh, we're not looking at the final. What am I looking at? Copy the points. Let's look at switch. So that one's perfect, fills it. Every other is a little funny when it's odd. When it's even, it's perfect. When it's odd, it's not so perfect. Let's just make sure it's always even. So what is that? What is that? I need to have 2. I would have to have one for even and one for odd, I think. Are there too many points on this, or are we good? Oh, okay. I think that's because of the way I'm doing the select here. Let me look. Right, yeah, so if it's down there, if it's yeah, it's just kind of how that works. Maybe no, there's a way to fix this. There's a way to fix it. Or is there not? Like, so that there needs to always be end ones. It's the every other thing is bad. So basically I should take this group range and then not do this, and we should limit how many points there are here. So we currently have it the number of points plus 1 and just divide it by 2. I think. Because then there's always end points in this case, so times 0.5. Yeah. Yeah. So let me look at the end network. Okay, so it's still fucked or what? Okay, there's a couple other issues now, but that's better in theory. Slide them out just doesn't make sense. Ooh, what the hell? This is crazy looking. Okay, I can fix this. But that's more how it should be. It's just it's too the starting positions are off. And maybe you don't have to trim off the edges so hard either. So let's go look at this line. This is closer to it. Let me look at the transform. Oops, damn it. You go back. So it's the +1 I think is throwing it off. So maybe if where'd it go? I get rid of the +1 divided by 2 times 0.5. See, times 0.5 is kind of funky for int. Oh, what did I? Oh yeah, so we didn't close the parenthesis. We want less space on there. Oh, I see. So we're centered. So it's kind of like thinking about that. What if I don't do the offset? Because I'm telling it not to take that one off. It's always like this always feels like HTML, CSS tables trying to figure out like margin and borders. It's like it's this ranging. The way I'm ranging it's not good. So that's the issue. So we don't want to range. We don't want to split. We want to properly just place them. Yeah, so we'll just do that. So we have this line, and so now it's actually I'll just take that. I'm not mad. Well, no, that looks terrible. Never mind. So okay, so let's see. What have we done to this width? This is almost it. This is like really close to it. This is on the border of every other. So now we're gonna inset in. So we're taking length and we're subtracting this. So if I multiply this by 2, okay, yep. And then we're gonna transform times 0.5, maybe just like that. That's close. That is, wait, that might be it. I can't see this big ass thing in the way. I think that's gonna be, it's not perfect, but it, so we need to have one less. Let me look at the final here. Let me look at this thing. Let's kill these points. This is close. Oh god. Okay, well we don't want 4 anyway. Well, I mean maybe we will. Why is that? Okay, this sucks. I broke it. This is worse now. Why is this happening? So like what is that? So what drives, we're generating points. That's all this is. We're just generating positions. So we have, oh, I see. Okay, so what we're using like a fixed number and it should be a variable instead. So what are we doing? So what's defining width? We are doing fence minus post width times 2. We also need to take into account we have to also subtract half of the slat width from length, I think, is what has to happen. I'm just going to try it, and we'll see. I think chaining subtractions like this is going to be okay. It's probably 0.5, I'm not sure. Okay. And then we have to also then add to the transform half of whatever I just put in there. Or maybe it's the full one, I can't tell, not half. If an HD I need to write is to do something, is to make this easy. Is like I just pull out the like copy to with every other and it just like make that happen. That's got to be something I write, because I do this. I get stuck here every single time. I eventually get it, but then I have to resolve this problem again and again. That is perfect. That is it. Okay, so we got it. Let's look at the final. Turn on. We still have this issue, but I could technically ship it and be like, fuck it. There's a lot of, you get a lot of extra, you get free polygons. Free polygons. Okay, so, let's see. So, that's looking pretty good this way. Height, everything's doing the way it should. If we fill it, not every other, fills it in perfectly. Every other looks okay. I don't necessarily like that this is a half width compared to a full. We could remath that, but at least it looks right. Yeah. So this is how it should work. It's perfect. For the little fence, works that way. Now, so this is the height offset from the top, like that. It's an offset based on this height though. We don't change this. That's slat depth. I know that works. We'll leave it. This is the arrowhead shape. So the arrowhead shape could also be. Oh, it is an offset. It's an offset of this. It could be an offset percentage so that it would never, like, it would look right. But we can also just tweak it perfectly into place. Post width. I don't really want to change this, but I guess I will. There we go. So make big fat posts, and it's adjusting everything. Even the shape of the thing on the top of it. So that's kind of cool. Duplicate it. Duplicate what? I forget. Sorry. Slow to look at the chat. But that's working. These little toppers suck. They suck, but there's really no way to get like this to be, you know, completely parametric other than this, and I need to blast out the interfaces. There's probably a simple way to do that. I can't UV it until I do that. And then the dividers, we can have a middle divider or not. Divider height. Divider depth offset. Not gonna really mess with it, but it's like, just max it for now. And then the height position offset is here. And it's not a height percentage, it's a height, like, actual value. But from this, I should be able to generate both fences. I need to UV it, and then this is an issue. But other than that, that's the dance. And when it goes to Unreal Engine, we send out the post, and then we send out the fence. Those are separate objects in the way that my game snaps them together. We're not. If it was like a regular video game, you could make a spline tool for this or something like that. But I don't. I think that's like overcomplicating things. Like, unless you have like, I don't know, you're making like a gigantic fence field. Mine are not that big. Just place them by hand. So, UVing is a thing. I could UV this all at once using Labs UV if I'm not going to even if I was going to Substance Painter it. I should technically have probably blasted out. There's some like extra faces in here, but they're going to be very small. So, can I just leave them? It's definitely I used a box for this. If you do it with a grid and extrude, you can tell it to just not generate the front and back face and just do the side. So that's definitely a plus, versus here I'd have to go like select them and delete them out. So I'm not going to do that. I'll just leave them. And this is an issue. This is a problem. So I can either try to delete the inside faces or try to go find the HDA that it's coming from and see if I can give it a little checkbox. It just needs a checkbox of like, don't generate a polygon. It's just like on the add node or whatever, it's like close. It's a one checkbox. But I don't remember what the. Oh yeah, it's down here. It's like, that's not. It's this. I just need to not close it. It's just like oh, you know what? We just don't merge this. We don't merge this. I don't need the back line because like you do need this if you're gonna. This took me like 5 times to program this out correctly to make the other shapes. It's meant for an extrude, not a revolve. So that's like the main difference. All I have to do is make a checkbox that does not merge this, and it just leaves the profile in. But I have no idea where this HDA is, and I don't know if you can you edit this from here? Can you like, that would be cool if I could like right click and say like edit HDA. Oh, it's locked. Can I unlock it? Does that just change the instance of it? Well, I don't know. How do I unlock this? I need to just delete out the gonna disable some stuff on it. Dive in network. Yeah. Well, how do I? So let's just, if I just unlock this and delete that merge, we're done. That's it. Then we just UV this thing. Flags. Oh god, I don't know what any of this. Oh, lock unlock. What's this red thing mean? What does this do? Lock. Why is it? Okay, I don't. But then I can't change it. I want to delete some stuff in here. I just want to delete. Honestly, it terminates here. It's just like whoop right to the end. Can I do that? Fine. It looks all grayed out, so this is probably not gonna. Permission denied. Okay. So what was the point of locking it? Oh, locking it locks the parameters. That's what happened, I guess. How about edit this HDA or something? Show an asset manager. I don't know. Actions. Select. Nope. Nope. No. I feel like it's in like the asset menu. Maybe like is it in here? Unlock new from selection. Nah. Unlock asset. No, I hope this is editing the original one, but at the same time, I'm like, whatever. Like, there we go. Okay. I hope that was like an instance edit, not a. So let's look at the revolve and the fuse, and do you have polygons? Oh, it's perfect now. Oh yeah, is there a bottom? Actually, I don't need the bottom. I feel like the revolve would have like an add bottom. Yeah, closed, right? Yeah. So let me look at. Oh yeah, I don't want the bottom, and it's inverted. Huh, I gotta reverse it. Cool, fixed it. I'm assuming that was an instance edit. I didn't actually change the HDA. I hope. Okay, so we'll reverse this one. And we gotta drop normals on all these and then UV them, but then we should be done. I think. Other than changing the parameters to make both of them. Okay. Okay. Fence. So. I wish I knew how to get rid of this thing. I think we're done with the parameters for now. So normal, is that how we do this? I forget. Normal. It never likes the smoothing groups. I gotta figure that out. I thought that's what normals would have done. There's a node for it. I've done it before, I forget. I just forget to add it. It doesn't break anything, but like, yeah, we'll just do labs UV auto. Because lazy. This thing doesn't need any special UVs. It's nothing tiles on it. It doesn't really matter. Some of the other things I gotta do is like UVing. The UVing is gigantic. The UVing is bigger than the modeling, the graph. Okay, so this is not good. So we want to do seam is gonna probably do okay. I don't really like how it's doing that piece. Like the cylinder is like it's probably its own UV from the cubes and everything, but if I can get it all in one, then it's easier for me. So let's just try straight unwrap. What's that look like? Not good. Now I guess. I mean, this works for everything but these little toppy parts. So I should probably just UV those separately and then repack them together. But I'm gonna see if I can make auto seam work with just some different parameters. So let's look at. Is it grain tolerance? That's like the main driver. I want you to just keep that thing together like it was a... Now, where did it even go in this case? That being said, like... Oh, this is it. This is it right here. So it's going to break once you... Well, maybe not. So is that how... That's fine. It's a little distorted to unwrap it this way to not... give it a seam. Like we're basically doing like a top projection on it, but like it's a little weird. Really what I wanted to do is just drop a slice through here and open it up. It's just do this, open it and then relax it. I should probably just we don't want to UV these together at all actually, because we're going to put them on as different meshes. Hold up. Okay, so anyway, so this is like the... How am I going to do this? Because like you wanted to have these together so you can art direct them so that they look together as a final piece, but then they get separated on export. So I think you can use like, I think this is like, I just used like the SOP export node or something like that. So we actually need to break this out by how this goes out into the world. So I should name these now. I don't know what's what. I guess I'll just look. Those are the fence posts. Those are the pillars, whatever. So we're gonna just move some things around. So that's an export on its own, and also its own UVing. I need to consider textile density. My textures are 4 meter 4 meter per 2048 texel. So I should probably, I don't know how you apply texel density that way yet. Anyway, so this merge, just cut this. This is that's like the middle fancy part. So this gets a let's see. I want this to be still demoable when I make my video today, at the same time as like functionable. Like actually push out the mesh. I guess I could use separate. I could just make a duplicate network. Anyway, so this piece goes out, and what did we do? It's like a SOP export. Nope. I haven't used this for a while. There it is. ROP FBX thing. Yeah. So this'll spit out an FBX from here. Yeah, that'll do that. And then, oh, but there's no normals or UVs, so that's worthless. So we don't do it there. Quick shade. So we'll just do them as completely separate networks that both terminate into ROP FBX exports like this. And I guess we could have them merge back together here for like preview purposes like this. So this needs the same thing again here. Like this. Just put them at the same level, right? So that's like how this finishes like that. This is gonna also, oh my god. This is gonna get an FBX export, and then we could for preview purposes do this. Oh wait, oh no, actually this won't work. Like this exists here only to show the demo. Basically it doesn't, oh, and the UVs are, I gotta go mess with the UVing. This never exists. When I push this out, we don't even copy. We don't do this copy. It's just a single pillar. Just one of those goes out to Unreal. So that's kind of the weird network at the moment. Okay, so let's fix this as NG. It doesn't really matter here. Let's look at just that one. I guess I'll bypass the copy. We're only dealing with that. That got real weird, this one. Let's try unwrap. I think I can, I feel like I can get this. If not, I'll just break it into a group and we'll just UV it. We'll just do 2 UVs. It's fine. I wonder if shortest path is going to do me any favors for that one, actually. That doesn't look like it did any, or like it's the same. Okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm doing. Auto seam. So merge threshold controls how smaller groups. That's not it. It's grain tolerance. So it's going to be like, it's in here somewhere. We're going to hit the tolerance and it's going to unwrap it the way that most people would unwrap. Oh, that's close. This is close. That was it. This is it right there. That one or this one. I wonder if that's a function of like the radius of this object or something like that. Like, I don't know how I would parameterize that, but for now. So the thing is, like, if I make that shape bigger, I think you have to go change this again. But currently that's a fine unwrap. It's not going to be like aligned. I could try to do axis aligned. It's pretty close. Yeah, you're getting seams anyway. You cut this. I'm okay with 2 seams. 2 seams means less distortion, but you'll never see both seams at once. So like, that's okay. These don't tile. There's really no reason to give too much thought to that. They don't need borders or anything like that, the way that they're gonna get through the texture. And I'm not gonna substance painter them. Not in this round. Okay, so that's this one. Let's look at it together. Ooh, this one needs a little bit of work over here. So let's look at this. We're just going to axis align it. I would like it to go the other way. There's really no way to tell it to do that. Let me look at this solo. What are these flat pieces? Oh, it's the middle sections. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, I gotta delete this. That looks terrible. This is not good. I'm just gonna. Is there a reset? There's a. Just gonna do this. Labs UV. We started to mess with the. Oops. Started to mess with the parameters to make the circly part work, and it doesn't need that. This could probably just be that. I should. And then axis align it. That should just do everything for me. Kind of crazy. Look at this little checker pattern it did there. That's interesting. That's a weird unwrap. That's a weird unwrap. Well, but it'll work though. And I'm okay with it. I'm gonna drop no padding. That makes it better. Now, if we do this, the grain is gonna be different. So that's not good. So, okay, how do I fix this? Technically, I could probably unwrap the vertical ones first and then the horizontals together. Or I just tweak it until I get it. Yeah, no, that's not gonna do it. Best. I'm surprised it tries to put those vertical. That's too bad. Oh, and this is still calculating. Cancel. Yeah, no. Axis align. Let's not do anything that's gonna take that long. This is not good because these are gonna look like massively different. Like I want the wood grain to all go that way. Or at least they all go the same. If we make this wood, because that's what this tall fence is a... Well, this isn't anything. This is like a... This is a half of both of them. But I want these to all go the same way. I want them all to go the same way, even at the... to take a hit in textile density, so I don't know what to do about that. If that's like... Let's try this one. Nah. It's still like doing them separately. I'm going to have to blast this thing into groups and then UV them separately. And then do a group where we then re-UV layout them but not allow them to rotate. Where I just force the orientation. I kind of don't... I'm kind of lazy though. I just want this to work at a certain setting. Oh, no. We can't do any of this. This breaks it. We don't need tangency between these. That doesn't matter. I could just do this. Well, you know what? We have groups already, so it's really not that bad. What is this one? Let me look at that. So those are the verticals. So this is a group already. Yeah, it's already grouped for me. So I'll just do it. Okay, so pack room. Group. Okay, so we'll just make a UV group. So we'll call this one...
Dad, we're home.
Oh, you're home? Yeah, you've been home for a while. What you up to?
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
We're home. But we're home. Look at me then.
What you been up to? Burping? Vertical. Horizontal. So those are groups, the primitive groups. And can you UV groups? No, I have to split them. Okay. I guess I could UV. I guess the way to do this is UV them before the merges. Then I don't have to group them at all. Well, whatever. They've also got groups. And hopefully auto UV will do the thing. So let's turn on quick shade. Oh no, turn on quick shade. Oh, that's confusing to look at. Let's do this for now. Okay, auto UV. Put them all the same way. How do I do that? Unwrap. I don't know how to do this. It's not merge, it's not cut off. Planes, it's definitely 6. Damn, I can't get those to all go the same direction very easily. We do it before this one. We do it up here. This is dumb. This should have been one HDA. Now I have to do this. I'm doing things twice, which is stupid. So I should have UV this like red. We UV it here, which will make them all the same, and then we lay out. So this we keep jumping up higher and higher, and I don't need this group. I don't need these groups anymore. I'll just leave them in case I do, but I don't think I do. Get out of here. Yeah, should have UV this out of the gate. There we go. I'd prefer they go the other way, but whatever. As long as they're all the same. We copy the points. Now, what? Oh, they could all be the same, but that's we don't want that. We want to do a layout now, and we're gonna lay out here. This is where the layout happens. So UV layout. I'm not very good with this node at all. Invalid specification UV. Oh, this needs the same thing here. It's currently set up for the other one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so they're all going the same direction. That was the goal. And let's see if it should work this way too. That's not the one. It's this one. It's weird, but I'll take it. No, it's a very. At least those are aligned. The edges, I'm like, why would it put like a grade? Why would it like ramp it that way? Why not just put them all in a line? But I'm gonna take it. So that's this one. And these I don't care about all too much. So let's look at how this looks. I'll take it. I will take it. So that's this part UV'd. And did we like all of it? I forget. Yeah. It's not the best, but. And they're going in different directions. But I'm going to take it for now. That's fine. So. Let's make an actual fence then. So I'm gonna try to make this one now. And then I'll just copy that whole network and make another one. That's the only way I know how to do the presets at this point. So this is 6 feet high, so 2 meters and 8 feet wide, which is 8 feet. .5, 2.4. Yeah, we'll just do 2. Okay, so we're gonna actually generate the fence now. So I'll turn this back on just for like visualization. UVs are. They're okay. I could do them better by hand, but I just gotta do like a little flipping. At the least, this should be the same direction, so I'll just do a 90 flip if I have to at the end. Oh boy. Okay, so now it's just getting the parameters to be right. Here we go. So I can do them here. So to get this back into the engine, 2 high, 2 wide. Wow, so we really rounded that pretty rough. I rounded 6 and 8, so we made a square out of it. It's always gonna. When you do that, if I keep rounding like this, everything like eventually the architecture doesn't look right. It's like, which we're currently at. Hey, what's up?
Nothing. My mom needs to go to Target, so I was gonna go get luggage. Is there anything in particular? You okay with me?
Just don't get cheap luggage. Just get nice ones so they don't explode.
And how many or how big? Like one big one?
One big one. That's about it. Yeah. 2 big ones, maybe? Get 2 big ones?
That's what I'm trying to figure out this one or two.
I don't know.
Sure, she leaves for half an hour. I'll go work on it.
So I made those square. I made this thing square. That's parametric, doesn't matter. So we made like a square one basically. Like this is a 2x2. And we're gonna try to make this fence. So yeah, it's the not every other one. The wood texture is gonna look a little bit stupid like this, and they need to be like shuffled around. But so the UVing needs work. I have to write like a UV shuffle for this thing. Okay. Anyway, UV needs work, but the cross beams are pretty good, or the dividers rather. So those are here. So yeah, how close does it get to the top? It's got a good amount of space, so it's more like down here. It does have a middle divider, yeah. And technically, like, they show it so that there's like space under there. That's a picture though. This is like photoshopped. I don't think this is a real picture. Like that, this bush looks fake. Maybe it's not. I don't know. This doesn't look real. Something looks kind of off about this. Like it's like Photoshop, so I can't really trust that anyway. But it is possibly a design decision to have space under there. Probably depends. But I think that's pretty much it. I think the little top height is okay. On the other fence, they're less tall. Like this one, they're they're little. There's probably different designs, but they're less pointy. And I think the little acorn top, how is that on this one? I'm just like straight stealing this design. It's a little bit pointier than this one. As in, it's a little taller. Is essentially it. So if I take the post height here, I'll make it a little taller. So I got to bring down the global. That pretty much does it. That's the proportion change. And then the slats global height offset. The fuck is this? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll bring this down a little bit. Like that. It's kind of ugly, but... And the UVing, I know immediately as soon as I put a wood texture on that, it's going to look like that. It's going to be like... Not good. So... I typically like to design wood textures, though I'm going to go make the wood texture in like 2 seconds. I'm just going to use Alchemist. I like my wood. I like the UVs to be vertical, so I guess I should flip those here, because that's going out. This is it for now. I kind of need a bottom now, don't I, for this thing, because it's over. Crap. That's in the revolve node that is somewhere around here. No, it's not. Where'd it go? There it is. Revolve. Okay, so that's going to throw off the UVing. But let's see. Closed. Oh, I thought that would have done it, actually. End caps. There they are. It did F the... I'll take it, whatever. It's fine. Small prop. Okay, so we do need the bottoms. Those have bottoms too. And this piece is good to go. The UVs are kind of wonky. How am I going to fix that now? It's kind of like, to fix it, it would be in this layout node here. It's like, get random. Like, just start doing crazy shit. And I don't really know how I would do that. Pack into rectangles. Stack identical. I'd have to program it. You know, I'd have to be like, randomize. We'd have to perfectly lay them out into a grid, and then just knowing the positions, just start randomly switching pairs. And that's too, I don't want to really write any more UV logic into this, so that's just too much at this point. Okay, so I'm gonna export these out to Unreal Engine, make sure that they snap. I know that they will, and then I'll build a wood texture. I'll generate both, and then maybe at some point I'll come back and do like a little... I need to write that as well. I'm gonna write these down. There's like these two... what did I say I was gonna write? I need like a UV shuffle. Because like if you make stairs, you need to do the same thing. Like each stair needs to... you need to shuffle it around on the texture. I need to make a new list. I'm gonna say Houdini. What is it? Quality of QOL, quality of life. Is that how you write that? We need a... I'm gonna call it like a stair UV shuffle. So it'd be the same thing for this. You just pass it this object. You know that you're duplicating it a ton of times. You know it's going on a seamless texture. You just need to shuffle the UVs, and it's... I think I know how to write it. That's not today though. What was the other thing? There was like something else. Oh yeah, like it's kind of like a table and rows copy to points. I do the same. It's the same math over and over again. So those are the two things. If I can write those generically, that'll end up in like almost every single, you know, like any object that has lots of repeating things. How do you place them? How do you UV them? It's the same problem every time. So I should just write that generically once. And at the end of this, I'm just like right there. Or just do this so many times that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so let's look at this ending network. So that's the middle piece. So let's see if this actually works like this. So render current frame. Oh yeah, that makes sense. In case your mesh is like morphing or something like that, right? Yeah, all this stuff. Yep. And we're just gonna change its output here. So this is one way to have the mesh's export. So in this case, we'll call this one mesh, or I'm sorry, this is SM fence H type 5. Yeah, that's, I mean, that naming is always safe. Just don't get specific and just iterate. Okay, this one, did I actually click it? I don't think I clicked it. Save to disk. There we go. That did it. And then this one is the fence post. We need to make sure that we are looking at it. Yeah, so in this case, we don't want the copy active. That did change the UVs. And we'll check. I don't know if this is like going to export correctly, but, and this is 6 and they go together like that. Let's see if that works. I need to get these shortcuts going again. I need a new hard drive. Oh man, my hard drives are filling up. Let's see here. Houdini. Fence. These two. No. Cancel. What? I didn't click export or something. I gotta click export, right? Is that what happened? There we go. And shouldn't have to rewrite anything. 5 and 6. No overwriting. Okay. Collision. Yeah. Actually, the auto collisions are going to be fine, I'm sure. Good. Okay. That's fine. And it never likes the smoothing groups because I forget how to do that. Okay. 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 So we're going to delete these. Not quite. Not quite it. And redo it again. Houdini meshes are 100 too small in scale, so 100. Import. Same thing. Because I made something in Blender, so I reset the defaults. There they are. Those look good. Okay. Yes. So let's make classes for them. Do it single monitor style. Slow. Who has fences for me already? What do I even call? What is this? This is going to be... I got to reorganize this at some point. Okay, so... I should have this exact thing set up already. Here we go. 3 and 4. So which... I guess I've renamed them already. These have 2 materials on them. Oh yeah, I guess they do. Yeah, so this is like the same exact idea. It's just brick and simpler. So this is the wall one. And that's 3. Oh, I got to fix this in-game sculpting thing. It's not ready to ship yet. And so that's the fence one. So if I duplicate this one, that's 05. I want to look at it from this direction, and we should be able to just go to 5. Okay. Oh, there's no snapping. Should not have hit undo. Save. I need a material for this. I don't know if I have any generic wood. Okay, I gotta go look if I have an instance for this one. I'm gonna go make it, but if I have something even close, I guess I'll use this for now. I'm gonna go make a wood texture in a second. Put that there. Whatever. I should have applied a material to it in Houdini, like just a flat material. Did that compile right? Okay, cool. Does who look like me?
Me.
Yeah, you do.
Only gray shirt and red pants.
That's true.
I don't.
We're matching.
I don't.
Nope.
But I wish I could have. But I wish I could have gray socks.
I think you have gray. You don't have gray socks? I think you do.
But that's
Why does it have 3?
shiny one.
Because there's 3. Oh.
I'm doing
Wait, that's a wall. We want to duplicate
And I wish I could have a
3. I don't want to have to reset up the class defaults. Okay, where is this thing? Is it this one? Yeah. So this is the same class default to make this snap the same way. So we're going to duplicate fence 01. Is now 6. There's only going to be 1 material, and it's going to be this same... Okay.
Dad, there was a skeleton on my house in Minecraft.
Minecraft skeleton, yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna make
Huh.
the doors quick.
oh. This one. You're now type 6, and you're wood. Terrible wood texture. Unwrap's not the worst on this. It's a little wonky, but once it becomes more of like a generic wood texture, I don't think the bending is going to be as bad, as obvious. And I didn't texel density to them either, so. I'm sure there's an easy way to do textile density in Houdini. I have not even tried it yet. Unless it's a cube. If it's a cube, you just UV it to a square and then divide it by the textile density, pretty much. Okay, so I'm gonna go test this. One monitor. Departments. Okay. So we got 2 new ones. Boom, boom. Just gonna call this fence post resi, and the other one is gonna be fence, just regular fence resi. And it's gonna get the classes. That was in industrial, and it's this is the post one. Post. I wish they'd showed the thumbnails. It doesn't when you make static mesh components that way. There we go. Maybe. We'll see. Whatever. It's either one or the other. Nope. That's not gonna work out. Okay. And so we'll call, I'm gonna put this in the residential. Do I have that as a category? Yeah, I do. No, me spelling that correctly though. Residential without spell check. Okay. Let's try this. Hopefully it's not going to crash when I load up this prefab. Actually, I might just go into a new one. Let's just go into a new one because the terrains are crashing the game. So I got to work on that. Oh, I should turn sculpting off too. Actually, it's going to also be sad, but we'll see how this goes. Residential. Here they are. Okay, I chose like I screwed up the thumbnails, but whatever. So there's a terrain. Some grass on it. Less grass. I got to fix the way that the scatter works too. So, 2 looks good. Okay. Turn it. Oh, okay. Interesting. Let's look at the fence posts in between them. So it leaves kind of like weird gaps if you don't put the actual fence post on there. I didn't think about that, what they will look like on their own. Just don't do that. Just don't. Should I? I didn't think about that. Anyway, that's a pretty good fence post. We just need a material for it. Or fence, whatever. Fence. That's pretty good. Just needs the right material. Snapping works. Kind of it's grass. Need to work on the scattering. What's happening? It's putting grass over and over on the same point because I did a random points search to put the grass there, but it ends up not finding all the grass, all the points. I gotta rewrite that. But that's a good house fence right there. That looks okay. It seems kind of short. Actually, it's like Home Improvement, like the guy looking over the fence. This is about right. Yeah. So I mean, there's probably taller ones too, depending on like the landscaping. Where'd the grass go? Oh, I have sculpting on. Yeah, that's why sculpting breaks this. Yeah. Gotta go turn off sculpting. Not ready. Okay, so that's this one. I'm gonna go make the little fence now. And I'll just leave the UVing as is for now. So I'm still not like quite sure, like, oh wait, who's Houdini? The best way of making like multiple versions, because like you make these like parametric objects and then you make different versions of them, but I still don't know the best way to do that. So I've been doing like this, like fence. This should be like fence 01, like tall. Caps lock is apparently on. And then I just duplicate the whole network and then I go change the parameters. I don't know. I don't know. Or I can make it like a full HDA and then do it that way. I still don't know like how I'm gonna do like final output. Okay, so we need to art direct this one to look like the shorter fence. So we're gonna go back and turn on the duplicate just so we can kind of see it. For now, UVing will probably break at some point, so I'll just turn it off. We'll tweak the UVs at the end. So fence control, in general, we're going to make it 2x1 like that. All right, so let's shrunk it down. No middle divider, and the offset is like, I don't know. I gotta go look at the reference. So it's this one. So our dimensions are a little off, but and it's off the ground. I was just gonna go right in the ground for now. I didn't make this. I guess I should make it. I should give the whole thing like a global offset or like a bottom, like a floor off, a ground offset, so you can just give space to the bottom lines right at the bottom. But next fence generator. Okay, so I see the changes. So this is in every other. First of all, like that. They're a little smaller, so if we just make more of them, they'll get smaller, I think. And then the top offset's a bit too much, and they're also shorter. Oh, okay. Where's the height? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, there's different designs, but I'm going to make mine like this. It's fine. And I think the dividers are like a little smaller. They're pretty much the same width. Are they more? They're a little more. This is pretty good. And now how's the height difference? It's that current one's a little different, but I'll do something like this to kind of, like that. Yeah, like that. And I think I jokingly made the fence post this size and then never changed them. I didn't change the size of the posts. That's nice. I like the glowstone. Oh.
Purple, pink, orange, and red.
Nice, it looks good. And so this post is like real small on this one, and the shape's much different, which we'll deal with in a second. Like that. And how do I change this one? It's the global height offset. Yeah, so this is more like, it's like this way. Now, is it like all the way like that? Are they the same height? No, it's still a little below it, so it's still kind of like... Oh, did we crash? No, okay. It's kind of like here. Something like this. And then we just got to go play with this profile a little bit. I'll do the one that's not inside of that guy. So this is boxier by nature, so we probably don't even need any... Get bigger. Get bigger. Okay, I see it. There's a little bit of rounding at the top, and it's basically like a... with a bunch of bumps in it, so... It is... okay, how do you delete these? You want to just delete them? Can just hit delete. There we go. So this, I'm going to make them all linear for now to kind of block out the shape. Linear. This is the whole own like dance is getting this thing to work. Okay, so does it go outside and by how much? No. Okay, so this is like this goes up. It's like this. Look at this. Oh, not like that one. Oh no, a creeper. Oh no, I made an extra point. I don't want that point. Oh, and it's square. Ah, I didn't think about that. I gotta change. I gotta parameterize how many revolves are going on here. So for now, I'll just go do it by hand. Where is it? Where's the revolve? How many divisions? 4. Ah, and then I need to rotate this. Can I rotate this here? Gonna have to rotate it. Fuse, transform. Here's a transform. Here we go. 45. That looks good. I like the jack-o'-lanterns in it. Okay, so I left out a couple parameters that I needed. So what am I missing on this one? I see. Okay. So it goes outside. So back to the null. So given this amount of offs, I think I can do... I don't remember what controls how much this is offset by, but oh well. I'm just gonna make it work. I'm not gonna redesign anything.
And the pumpkins are all around my house. They're all around.
And in general, it's doing this, but with then like just like different steps in it.
Pumpkins are all around my house. They're all around my house. Is that the top?
Is that kind of it? I'm not trying to get like it perfect, and it has kind of like a top tenty part, which I can't The way I programmed it, I can't currently get that shape. But I can get close. I'll do like a little bit of a... It kind of comes back in at the end. Or not. There it is. Okay. I'm going to pop this out, and hopefully this is a little easier to edit if I make it gigantic. Oh, it kind of maxes out, huh? Maxes out the height.
I don't have a garden.
Too many points. Go away. What's happening? Oh, there's a sneak... Okay, this one has like a... How come I can't delete this? Delete. There. Oh, there you go. Wait, what? I broke it. Okay, so I want this to... You hold the line, but you come back down. Okay, you're curved. That's why it's defaulting to like Bezier. Are you a Bezier? A B-spline? There we go. Linear. There we go. So, like this. Then this one makes the big part. This goes here. Oh, we don't have enough subdivisions. I see. We don't have enough subdivisions. Yeah, this is the problem with doing it this way. Is like you end up with all these like extra reinforcing edges that you don't need. But, oh well. These should be the same value. I can type them in to be the same in a second. I'm gonna call it that. That's fine. So let's see how the UVs handled these new parameters. I'll just shrink this up. Probably not so good, but oh, it's this one. You know they're okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. What did I do? Man, I'm like in perspectiveless or something, so it's got to be somewhere in here. Is it this? What did I just do? Man, I don't know how to get rid of that, and I just changed the... We're like an orthographic view or something now. Oh, ortho. Here we go. Yeah. Let's go back to perspective, but don't be orthographic anymore. Yo. I must have clicked one of these, and now it's orthographic. Whatever. It's orthographic now. Oh, there we go. Cool. Better. So we have like, you know, too much topology in there, but it's fine. Cool. And I need to kind of come sort and like spin the UVs around, but can't be bothered at the moment. So that's not the right dimension. Like this is too wide. Like it just looks wrong. Like compared to like how these fences are laid out, just doesn't look right. Like there's too much distance because these are only like what 6 feet wide. So it's not quite right, but it fits our world grid. So that's really what's important. So let's do this one. And these fences look crazy without the posts on them, but that's the only really way to do it. Unless I make like destroyed versions of these later or something like that. I'll probably just do that in Chaos Engine though, in Unreal. So this is now, I don't remember. We made, where's the static mesh folder? We made 5 and 6, so this is 6 and 7. Wait. No, we made 5 and 6, so this is 7 and 8. Yeah, this should be automated, so I don't make that mistake. Oh, at least it knows it's going to override it. That's good. How about now? What do you think now? Good, cool. Save. And we go over to this output, and we're going to turn off the copy. And do you know that there's... Yeah, it knows. Okay, so 8. Like that. Save. That's pretty good. Pretty good workflow. Import 7 and 8. Yep. Sure. No, doesn't like the tangents. And those look good. Cool. UVs are like not oriented ideally, but I could always just make a wood texture that's sideways. Or give the material parameter like a rotation or something. So I just gotta make these into classes. Nope. Good. So duplicate that one, then duplicate this one. They should all be doable from the interface here. I shouldn't have to go back in. Fuck, I closed the thing. Damn it. I don't know what that view is called. What is that? It's called My Blueprint. Components in My Blueprint. And I closed components. There we go. So this is... Did I not open 8? There's 8. So this is now 07. Should be white. I'm gonna change the material. And this is whatever, 7. Is that what it was? 7, 8. Wait, what? 8. Sure, whatever. Do I have a white material that's like kind of like a dirty plastic for this? That would be good. I'll go make one if I don't. Oh, there's 2 plastics now. What are these? How is there a second one? What's the second one doing? Oh yeah, this is it. Oh yeah, dirty plastic. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. I don't know what textile density I was going for with this, but I'm sure it's fine. So this one. What's the second one? I think that's shiny and that's not shiny. I think that's the difference, if I remember. Boop. So this has like a little bit of breakup, mostly for like when like reflections hit it super hard, or the specular reflection hits it from like the sun or something. So it won't be as
All these seeds
CG
are
looking.
look,
It's still pretty CG looking.
look, I made all these seeds and I also put them in a lot of dirt and I also put them on a lot of dirt and they're going to grow tomorrow.
That's good. Yeah, you're farming.
Look,
Minecraft farming over there.
Daddy, look. Look, Dada.
Looks good. What kind of seeds are those?
Look, they're growing.
They're wheat seeds.
They're growing. Now we're just going to make a bed.
This one. I don't remember which was which. 7 is the... Doesn't really matter. Fence, post. That's how I've done it. Okay. Fence. Resi. Short, or... Picket. I'll name them and get that stuff looking great eventually. Take the screenshots. That's this one. Fence, residential, picket. I don't have to call it residential. It's in the category. Residential. This one. Residential. Bump, bump. Residential. I don't know if I spelled that right. This one's off. It was throwing me off. Yeah, this one. That's my temporary one. Fence. Wood. Fence. Post. Wood. So wooden fence and a picket fence. I don't know if that's how they're actually named. What are they named? What did it say on the internet? Pressure treated spruce, pine, fir, fence, panel, stockade, gothic. Gothic.
They're like honey.
Oh, it's a gothic
They're like
gothic stockade fence.
They're like honey.
Oh yeah, it's honey. I gotta go make this material. Or I just gotta go make like a bunch of woods in Alchemist. Okay, did I save that other one? I guess it's pretty easy to remake it. I definitely didn't save it. I didn't. Okay, so gotta turn off sculpting, terrain. Let's go get my fences. Let's look at them all. Okay, 2. Fence, fence. Or post. That's like the backyard fence. Oh yeah? This Nikki?
I smell your butt.
Okay, so this one is... Huh. It's because of the terrain. It's like it's partially in the terrain. I guess that's okay. So this is the front yard fence. This is the backyard fence. That's the idea. It'll help. It'll help this whole thing. Like it'll help it'll just make everything look nicer. So I'll kind of like finish this. It would be like this. Nope, not that one. I don't have the icons yet, so I have no idea what I'm placing. There it is. Yeah, okay. It's okay. Even with that crappy wood, well, not crap. It's just the wrong wood texture. It's like a parquet floor. Gets the idea. Look at this small house. This is cute. I like this.
Small house.
Yeah, made a small house. Now, yeah, there you go. Look at there it is. You know, it needs like an opening. It needs a shorter version or one with a door or something like that. I think.
Hey, Daddy, is that like a game?
Looks mathematic. It is like a game. Yeah, it's the game I make. Okay.
Is that, are you sure that's how you
So I suppose for now, yeah, this is how we program.
That's how.
This is how we program.
And I also like the different colors of the screen. I also like the different colors. I like the colors. Mom, you make a logo and the number.
So that's the only way we have. We don't have an opening yet. I didn't make like a Minecraft OK. You know, I can make one of those. But that's the opening for now. You just don't have a fence in it. So those are great. Those are gonna look pretty good. They're stuck in the ground. And to compare them to the other fence we made, which these categories need to get cleaned up a little bit. These are like, I mean, these are more like mansion or well, yeah, I'll put another grass down. I'll take another grass. These are more like I don't know, I called them commercial, but it's more like, you know, like if you live in a mansion or like, you know, an expensive house, you're gonna have a fence like that, a little bit more stately or something. And then I have these two. These kind of match. Oops, like that. So they're more like commercial. They'd go around like a building. This always reminds me of like a graveyard or something for some reason. I don't know why. So bigger mansion-y type houses are commercial stuff, and this is like your typical like American pie, white picket fence and backyard fence, and it's gonna help make the whole thing look a lot better. And then the terrain, this is still evolving, but these help quite a bit. You can make as much as like infinite variation as there is on like environments. You kind of make, I feel like you make the same one over and over again. And it's basically variations of like these 4 pieces I've made here. I think this pretty much covers a lot of what you get done. Like this itty bitty house. So within just this little field of view here, you know, this fence blocks out a lot of that ugly transition back here. And there's a little bit of stuff in the background. You drop some trees back. Oh, God. No, don't change the screen percentage. I mean, whatever. But I need to start making my own trees eventually. That's gonna be a little while though. I mean, that this makes sense, but like, yeah, it just helps. Oh, this needs some grass on it. Oops. Hey, what up? What's up with the grass? There we go. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so it's like, it's literally a mini house, but it helps tie it all together. It's like a mailbox and blah blah blah. And we put the, where's the street stuff? Wonk, wonk. I guess that would go right up to the fence. Hold on. I'm doing this backwards, but whatever. Oh, I shouldn't delete it. Whatever. I think I can copy these, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. The copy and paste is a little weird because it doesn't show like the little arrow of like where things are coming from. Oops. Move it. It's harder to understand what that is, but it does work. Oh. Yeah. So that's you know, that's the beginning of like suburban it out. And the fence, you know, like for, like if you really care, you have to then kind of like, you know, bring it up like this. There's really no way to automate this that I know of, that I can think of yet, but you kind of use the world grid to get things like roughly in place. And for most things, it's fine. And if you really care, like when I make the prefabs, I'll go and do this so that we like, you know, then it's kind of questionable like how much you do it. But that you can always, they're all free placed after. They're not like hard locked like Fortnite or something like that. Actually, Fortnite's pretty loose now with the way creative works. But like when you're playing the actual game, you know, you can't go and move things like freestyle like this after. But just this is doing like a world grid 10 snap right now, 10 centimeters. So that helps, you know, the front if it's up, and this one's up 20, this one's up 10, and it's like, you know, you gotta kind of like finesse it a little bit. Yeah, those are pretty good. I'm gonna go make a wood material. Okay, what time is it? Freaking hungry. Oh, 11:30. So how long was this? 3 hours? It's not bad. I know we probably could model these in like Blender in like an hour, but I don't know. This is the way my mind works, because we're in this weird balance of like real world based dimensions, but then making it perfectly fit into like a tiling world grid system. So it kind of needs to be procedural. Like I need to be able to change little things to make it fit, because we're like it's not perfectly just like handmade where I can make it like whatever I think looks nice. It kind of needs to also be tied to reality, but then also snap to the grid. So I think even a fence like this you want to do procedurally. I'm pretty happy with like how the columns came out too, like the this little shape there. I feel like I'm playing like Dark Souls. You know, it could have some like, it could be done better. You know, you could do a proper high poly, bake it, get the normals a little cleaner, but like, you know, for a game where you're in third person and then through a camera, you don't really need to go to that level. For the extra like hour it would take me to do that per one of these, it makes the cost time wise of every asset way too high for me. So I really can't go back to Substance Painter anymore, time wise, unless there's like some like important superhero prop. I can't imagine what that would be at this point. Everything's kind of like equal value. I like it though. So I'm gonna make some prefabs with this. I'm gonna go hop into Alchemist real quick and see how that goes. What's this? Oh yeah, I got some like kind of like back-end programming stuff to start to clean up. Performance is still a little bit not as good as it could be with the new building system, and the actors are really bad. I put too much on tick, because I didn't feel like making timers, and then I never fixed it. So there's just a ton of shit ticking when you have a lot of actors out there, which is bad. Actors like the characters, but it's fixable. I just switch it to a timer that calls it every like 1/12 of a second to be fine. 12 times a second. So those are the fences. There's more to make, but those are the main ones. And then, you know, we can keep making variations. They do a lot. Like fences do like a ton to the level. Like I play Call of Duty Mobile, and like the amount of things that are like fences, it just divides up space really well and blocks things, and then they're really helpful for layout. Like I didn't have them until like a week ago, and it was like kind of bad. It was hard to do layout to make like convincing levels. I think they're starting to help a lot. So I will come back and make a demo of this later. Close that for now. I can leave that running. Let me switch back to this while I open up Alchemist, just in case I'm like logged out. They're not logged out, like expired or whatever. You have to like relog it every time. Like I pay for it monthly, and when it expires, you have to like re-sign into it. It doesn't just like do it. Okay, so we're fine. Okay, so far I've made a sand texture. T wood. We could go for, what did it say it was? There's like a name for it. This type specifically is spruce pine. I'm just gonna call it wood. I don't know if I've made any generic woods yet, but here we go. So 1. Time to remember the hotkeys and how to use this new program. Create. Okay, so bark. Isn't there just wood? There we go. Done. We're done. This is it. We're done. And they're having the grain go sideways, so you know that actually works out in our case. So let's see, what did they give us? So we have a random seed, color vein amount, different types of veins, not density. This is great because like I'm really bad at making these in Designer. It takes a lot of work to build this generic wood out, and the graphs are huge, and like the it's like a lot of performance when you have this wood graph and then you start tiling it. It gets like, it's hard. So looking at this roughly, it's more desaturated. It's definitely more towards like yellow. I mean, this is who knows what the white balance of this photo was. There's a lot of knots. There's also like these like clearly added dots to it, like these ones in lines. I'm not going to add that. And the detail's fairly small. It's pretty much hitting the scale, actually. There's a way of like showing the, you can show like a human against this. I forget how you do that though. So generally this is probably a little brighter. God, I don't like this. This looks like Microsoft Paint. I'd like, but I guess I could do it here. Saturation down like this. Ew, I don't like this color selector at all. Is there a way to switch this to like, I don't like this color selector in here, but that kind of mellows it out. There's a lot of white in there. Like it gets a little too bright, so maybe I'll just bring it back down like that, like here. Is there global scale? I'll just drop a different, oh my god, look at this. Oh cool. Yeah, I'll just give this a run. Sure. Color veins amount. So let's look at the vein amount. If I drop this down, what happens? Huh. Not really sure what to think about this. Color veins amount. I don't know what that's doing. Vein flow stripe slice. Let's get in there. Huh. That's weird. Mix. I feel like it's going the wrong direction. Noise flow. Not density. Let's see what happens if I drop it down. I see. So, how about not size? There it is. Yeah. So we'll go like full density and we'll drop the size down. Oh, yeah, that's the wrong way. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Strata. I don't know what strata is. Strata amount. What the hell is this? I don't know what that is. And then the roughness. So how do we? There's the. So here we can see the reflection in it. It's pretty rough. I mean, it's been outside. This is not shiny at all. But we'll give it like a. I mean, a fence that's outside. I mean, unless it's like brand new, it wouldn't have too much. We'll give it like a little bit. I don't really like. It's okay. Okay. And we'll just make it like a little dirty. Let's see if I remember how to do this. So, is that filter? No, that's how you bring in your own. You make your own filter in Substance. Okay, there's not too many of these yet, so we'll do the scatter stuff on this is amazing. I'll never go back to designer just to scatter stuff. This is so much faster. Clone crop dirt. That seems like it. There we go. Oh, there it is. I don't like how big that one is, but it'll be okay. Just give this a. Oh. Like that one. So we can pull it back. Is there a mask random in this one? I haven't played with the dirt parameter too much, but just it doesn't need to be so much in the color as it is in the roughness if I turn roughness up, but we'll take a little color variation too. I don't like this wood anymore. I need to make it a little, change a little bit. Quantity, what's volume? Is volume like the softness, like how soft the transition is probably? It's kind of like this inner road that's happening, and I like it. I like having low volume. Like this. It's very tiley, but the way that this got UV'd, it'll be okay. It's a little bright. Edge protect spread contrast. Oh, that's what I was thinking of. That's the contrast. Okay. Color variation. Cool. Spread blur and invert mask. Color balance. So there's the color. So I kind of want this to be. Oh, it is set to multiply. Color balance. Is this going to be making it darker, like more see-through? That's what I'm looking for. I can't tell. Color transition contrast. Multiply, subtract, add, min, overlay. I want multiply, but I want to be able to change like the opacity of the multiply. I don't know where that is. Display dirt mask. It's a start. It's a little heavy, but the way that the way that we UV'd onto it, like this doesn't show up as like a floor tile or something. This gets the UVing is essentially randomly placed on that, so it should be okay. Should I save this? I don't even know where these get saved to, and I don't know if I should call it wood or not, but or have the T. The T is for the actual textures that come out of it. Oh, I have to go pack this in Designer. I forgot about that. Pain. Sad. Because you can't RGBA merge that I know of yet out of here, so I gotta go do that. So there's dust for sure. Gravel. There's a gravel generator. This is amazing. Make a tile. Match. Metal. Moss splatter. I gotta see what that looks like. We'll do dirt. Parquet. Wow, this is amazing. Rust. Snow. Wow. Stone wall pattern. Wood finish? What's wood finish do? What's this doing? What? Oh, what? Oh, wow. This is crazy. What is Ceruse? Matte varnish? Old? Huh. So this is like messing with this is like adding some sort of like normal and roughness to it. It's weird. Raw? It's also like desaturating it. What the hell? This is weird. I like kind of liked it, but now I don't like. Oh, there's like, okay, this has like a lot of stuff going on inside of it. So don't mess with my saturation. What the hell is this? What the hell? It like, it's, ooh, I don't like it. I don't, why? Just leave the same color it was. Just don't do anything to the saturation. I like kind of get it, but I don't like it. Go away. So, this. What's the other one I wanted to try? Oh, paint. Well, this doesn't get paint. Oh, technical parameters. Effect. Curvature. Oh, this model's not gonna, we don't have any like curvature to jump onto. Use mask. I wanted to see like the default color it gives it. I bet you there's some stuff to do in there. I'm not gonna paint, this fence isn't painted though. The dirt's a little heavy handed too. I'm just gonna add dust to it. There's something else I wanted to do. What was it? Dust? Oh, the moss. Moss is probably more fun like a 3D object. Oh, whoa. That's cool. Put the dirt above the finish. Yeah, I could try that. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Look at this moss. Wow. They done it. This is so helpful. This is so helpful. Like my Cinetracer goes like 1, 2 or 3 steps higher in abstraction for the user. But this is like one step above designer, and it's like it's like 100 times faster. Wow. That's some bumpy bump moss going on there. And we don't have any like it's not a 3D object that we're putting this on, so there's no there's like it can do it from the top and the bottom. We don't have anything to feed it like that, so make it kind of mossy. This is like so much of it though. It's like how it's at 0. That's 0. That's still too much. I need like a mask over this. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you probably can do a mask on this, but it's not built into it. I feel like once I'm gonna add masks to these, I'm like defeating the point of it. Okay, here's it. No, okay. Elevation's like way too high. That's gonna make the normal crazy. That's pretty cool moss. I mean, moss is something that like this kind of stuff I'm implementing in the Unreal Engine shader itself, so you can change it. But it's cool to see it here. Just cool to see that. I won't use that though. I'm okay with the finish that we're at right now. Like this seems fine. That's like there's just like a little bit of shine. Like the inner parts are a little smoother, so it'll still look good in like glancing light. I'll just check out some of this dirt and then be done with this. I gotta go back in Designer to package it for Unreal anyway. Dust. Wow, that's very dusty. This is great. Oh, there's opacity. Yeah, maybe you could probably go heavier and then just drop the opacity way back. So this is just like another layer of noise under everything. Very. I mean, this could also be done in Unreal Engine, like, but it adds expense to the shader is the thing. So it's like, I'm not sure. I do have a dirt gun, but I'm not sure if we're gonna actually use it or not. Makes all the materials expensive if they have to also carry along a dirt map. Just like every single object has, or every single material just has like more and more memory cost at that point. So I'm not sure, but it does work. Depth, volume, dust color, color match, color precision, dust roughness. Wow, there's so much of this. Oh, and size. 300 by depth. We're not looking at a 3D object, so it's like I'm not like, able to tell. That's pretty cool. It's a little too dirty. So I'm going to pull back this dirt. Now, where's just like a... Oh, is this opacity? This is it, right? Oh, yeah. So let's just take this like almost out of here. Like very... We don't need much. Right? And I think it is doing what we want. Like it's adding roughness to things, which is what I kind of want, like more like the roughness breakup than I need the color variation so much. So that opacity just a little bit back. Yeah, so that it's just like it's mostly for these reflections so they don't look so perfect. The color in most cases, unless you're like right point blank up to the wood, it all blurs into one color anyway. It doesn't really matter that much. It's not a floor. Floors, if this was like going to be like something we'd use as a master floor tile, I'd have to be a little bit more precise with it. Okay, so I got to remember how we get this thing back into Substance Designer, because these materials, I can't use a lot of these. But that's a fast-ass way to make wood floor, I'll tell you. So let's do... Save? Save? I don't remember how we do this. Save as? Oh, it's this. Export. Export Q. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. So I think these can be opened in... Is it the SB RAR that opens in... Isn't... I think it's this. I think the SBS is openable in Designer, which is what I want. I don't know where I save this stuff anymore. Oh, Alchemist folder. Cool. Yes. Yeah, this looks good because I made sand. So let's say wood 1. This came just in time, this program. I guess it's been out for a while, but like, man, do I need this to make materials? Yeah. Oh, it's exporting up here. There we go. Okay, cool. It's a big file. Nice. Okay. So I think we're good. I'll just leave it open. Substance Designer. So I need to package this. I need to just... It's a waste, but I need to make it an ORM. That's how the system's built. It's mostly from Substance Painter. I barely need any of those other channels. I guess I always say that. I do need metallic for objects where we're going to have like different metallics on them. Part of it's metal, part of it's dielectric or whatever. Okay, so we'll make a new one. So this is T Wood 1, 2048 PBR standard. Yeah. Open now. Oh, there's a new version. Should get that probably. There's like, oh yeah, the new scatter nodes and stuff are in that. So let's see. Let's save this. This always remembers it, which is really so helpful. That's good. And the only way I know how to get this is by dragging it in. Here, Alchemist, wood. Or not. Oh, is it going or is it not going? Oh, there it goes. Wait, what? Sure. Like I have any choice. There we go. Okay, cool. It's like a little generator now. Okay, so I need color, normal, and I'll just connect them, but I don't... Metallic. I wonder what's coming out of the AO actually. Okay, I messed that up. Metallic, and we don't need height. Metallic spec. Where's metallic? Uh-oh. I mean AO. Here's AO. There's a little AO in there. Okay. So we're going to make an RGBA merge to an output. The output needs to be named ORM. Is this named correctly? T-Wood. It is. Good. Save it. So let's pack this in the right order. So it's occlusion, roughness, metallic. God, I can... There it is. Uniform color. Defaults to black. Go grayscale. Be white. Alpha. Recalculate. There it is. That's what it should look like. It should look orange. If you mess up the order, it looks, you can tell visually. Save that again. Export these bitmaps. We're in JPEG for 8-bit. No rough, no metallic. So color normal ORM into the right folder with the right naming. That should be that texture set should work for the game now. We'll go put that. I meant to boost the saturation a little bit, but so I'm pretty confident I can close everything, but I'll import it first. Here's all my textures. Yeah, some of them are trim sheeted, some of them are it's a mix. I'm still not sure exactly how that's gonna roll out, but lots of tiling ones for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna actually do trim sheets. It's kind of a lot of work. Alchemist, wood, dependencies. Where did I export this to? Oh yeah, it's in Designer. It came out of Designer. Tileable. Here it is. Okay. Wood. There we go. Cool. This is gonna sRGB on us. Yep. Save. So time to make a new material. Instance. They're all the same. No, they're not. The terrain ones have tiling on them. So I'll duplicate this one. M-floor wood. I probably should just name all the wood ones. I don't know how I'm gonna name these yet, but wood 1. That's the name of the texture set too. Okay, and back into here. Little shiny. It's a little shiny. It's a little clean. We'll see it on the it's too clean. It's too clean. It's too shiny. And the specular's kind of high, but it'll be okay. I can just do that whole re-export chain again. I'm sure eventually I'll be able to export directly out of Alchemist. That'll be nice, but it's not so bad. So we're gonna go update our new fences with that wood, or just the second, just 5 and 6 have that wood texture, right? Yeah, this one and 6. That one. Okay, it gets this wood. Yeah, it's not the best coloring. Ooh, oh, yeah. So the way it got UV'd and the lack of normal, I didn't do a high poly, so there's no normal curving on the normal map. This looks like it's one flat piece of wood, which it's a subtle difference, but it would need a high poly. It would need a high poly normal bake on top of it to have that normal detail, or I give them a little bit of space in the what's it called in Houdini, and I UV shuffle it. So there's still this is not ideal. Given that I don't want to go back to Substance Painter and do high poly to low poly, because it means I can't use these textures. I should probably give them like a tiny bit of space, which is like really annoying, honestly, to fix that. Or bevel them. So add geometry or add space, you know. And if the texture was shuffled so that it wasn't like so continuous, that would also help a lot. But this is how it is for now. So I'll just kind of remember that. Oh, okay, it's gone. I should save one of these times. I need to go turn off sculpting. Bugs it out right now. Residential. Let's look at the new ones. But yeah, those are shippable. Those are great. So we build it right here. Oh, it's the back one. Oh yeah, because we just updated the material for this one. So it looks super weird without the posts on them. Yeah, they're so clean. They're like brand new, like popsicle stick looking wood. Oh, the texture density, we hit it okay. It's a little big. We could probably tile this down 1. Yeah, texture density is a little high. So we need to make the texture a little smaller. Wood is like so clean, but you know, it's okay for now. And then the front fence. I don't know how I have to go look at like how these fences actually transition if this actually happens like that. 5. Oh. I gotta go change the visual center of those that are too high. But yeah, that's okay. It gets it done. It's like super clean wood, but I went too subtle with the dirt. I want more dirt. But that's the clean factory version of it, I guess. To make small space between the planks, select them all and scale them down individually with each plank having its own origin point. There's that too. In Houdini? I mean, they're all one instance. They're all a copy and transform. Oh, there's ways. Oh, I know there's ways. I'm not sure what approach I'm gonna go with, because like objects like this, I'm gonna make a lot of them. Like as we build more and more like sci-fi sets, just everything is this fence basically. Like so much, like even if you just switch those out for like windows and walls, it's still the same idea. So I have to kind of come up with my approach. I wouldn't say the HDA for these is like super clean how I made it, but it works. I'll get better at it over the next forever. How many years I'll be building stuff like this, but I like it. So that's the wood material for that. It's, you know, this all still kind of needs help, but it's getting there. Need a mailbox. Mailbox and streetlights, stop signs. Be fun stuff to make in Houdini. That's kind of next to help dress up these little suburbs that I'm remaking. We used to have one in the game, but I deleted that map because it just wasn't, third-party stuff wasn't working out for the world grid, obviously. Like nothing was built that way, so I had to kill it. But we're like probably like 80% back with the suburb set with these pieces now. We have a road, sidewalk, fence. The house you can build with a foundation now. It's a little bit harder, but it can be done. It just needs some like traffic lights and like, oh shit, so that's the sculpting. And I think it'll work. Oh, in Blender. You could do the same thing for sure. It's easy enough to do. It could basically be done. Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. It depends on like what, like if I want to parameterize how much it's shrinking in, it kind of affects this too. But at the same time, like a little bit of a line, it's really the UV shuffle would do way more than that. Like that's what's more important, is that the texture doesn't look like it's all one piece, is that it looks like they're different pieces of wood. That's what's going to show up more, because as soon as you're back here, it's like you wouldn't really sense the normal detail as much anyway, unless the lighting was like coming perfectly from like a 3/4 side angle. You wouldn't really be able to tell. But yeah, there's you know little nuances that I'll keep getting better and better and building those in. But you know, by the time you're back here, I can go have it like generate like auto LODs and stuff like that eventually. Once we feel like the mesh is final, then I'll do the LODs and the collision optimization if I need to. But yeah, I mean, we made that pretty rough. I don't remember what value I put it at, but sun's a little bright for the white. That white material needs to be toned down a tiny bit too, I think. I'm gonna reset this. But yeah, and then in the prefabs, I would bring up the fences so they're not stuck in the ground like this. But if you're on like if you're on the quick, which luckily a lot of filmmakers have been reaching out, and I've been seeing like the sets they've been building with the new faster building system, and they're like much better, right? Because like faster is better. So that's definitely the fastest way to snap that together. And then if you like really care, it's like you would further tweak. But for most previous planning, it's like, oh, we're gonna shoot with grass and there's a fence. You don't have time. You just want to snap it in there real quick, or probably just use a prefab at that point, which is what I'll probably make next. What is it? I think I have the beginnings of it. I'm gonna take this. Oh, I haven't made the house one yet. This is the desert building. That came out pretty good, but I could basically take this one. Does this have a road on it? I forget. It does. Oops. Oh, whatever. This is the beginning, and I build houses a little bit differently now. But I'll basically take this, put grass and some trees, and then dress it like with this. It'll be like kind of like a suburban block. So we've basically replaced like trying to load in like an entire gigantic level, but we have no performance specs to hit. So like half of the people it works, half of the people it doesn't work. We just do this now. We just load it in piece by piece, And eventually I'll make like if we make like a huge prefab, I might have to like load it in by sections, and you have to like click load, 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 load. And if you're on like a real shit computer, eventually you'll crash. Or something happen, like you'll run out of memory rather quickly. Like if you have like, you know, integrated graphics card and not much RAM, you'll just eventually run out, and I assume that crashes your computer. I'm not sure what happens. But then you'll kind of know. We can start to assign numbers to like how much, kind of like how Fortnite Creative does, like how much space this is taking up, etc. You'll kind of know. What's the picket one, right? Resi picket, fence. I don't know. I didn't name those very well. I gotta go make screenshots of these. There we go. Perfect. Fences for VR. Yeah, I don't. That's not quite an industry yet for me to jump into. That being said, I'm gonna redesign my office so I can play Half-Life Alyx, but it's just so spread out. It's like cool. We like, you know, like Quest or what's it called, Index, which I'm gonna buy that Index as soon as they email me the it's sold out. Once those are back in, I'm buying that instantly. But it's like, yeah, it's just like, it's fragmented. I don't know what part of the market of VR makes sense for this project. I guess high end, but then how many people are doing that? You know, how many people have this? I'm going low end. It's the way. I mean, it's kind of the same approach actually. Going VR and going to mobile is almost the same idea, other than mechanics. Call of Duty Mobile, Fortnite Mobile look incredible on an iPad Pro. That's what we're doing. All I have to do is basically turn off all the lighting, load everything down or up, whatever. It's like the lower quality, textures drop to 512, take away anything that's too heavy for an iPad processor, and shrink down the package so that you only ship like, you know, a quarter of the assets, so it fits under like 5 gigs or something like that. Mobile version. I like these fences. That's not a lot. That's the cascade shadow quality changing. I don't know how you control that, but at a certain point the cascade shadow is like whack, goes away. I don't know if these need LEDs, to be honest. I guess they could. I mean, given that like those don't actually have there's a lot of optimization that could happen, especially because there's faces on the inside of those. That's probably, when I get to the iPad, it's like I'll probably have to start doing that kind of stuff. There's a lot of optimization that could be done to this fence. Like this could all just be like one piece, and that could be like transparent or something. There's a lot, but for now I'm looking for like ease of creation on my end, not optimization for any platform yet. Okay, so what has this been? 340, not bad. You're joking? A lot of people want it, quote unquote, but I don't know how many people would use it. I don't know. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of plays in the VR filmmaking space right now, and I'm just not interested really. VR still makes me kind of sick as well. I don't have like my VR legs. Like Half-Life Alyx, I'm probably gonna like spend all this money getting it and then puke the first time I play it, because like you definitely walk around. It looks like I'm not very good at those games yet. Fencing. Okay, we built fences. These are gonna do a lot of work. So 3 different types of fences now. Material workflow is kind of coming out, especially with Alchemist. Thank God that came out. That is like so good. Otherwise, I'd have to make this, you know, making this base with material and substance designer takes forever. It's like, I know I should probably get to that point. You can make it Houdini too. I've heard like you can make all that stuff, but this was really quick. So that's the fences, prefabs. That's been on this list for a long ass time. Where are we? Residential fence, check. Oh no, I missed it. Check. Now it's checked. There it is, done. Next is gonna be, I mean, I as I get the energy, I start to like design out the terrain system still. That's a lot of programming. Doors, yeah, I still gotta make like a better door generator. Fire, I can't do fire yet in Houdini. I gotta upgrade. I'm gonna make some like, I'm gonna make some some like building blocks that are more, how to say this, more shack-like, or what's the word? Whatever. They're gonna be made out of like corrugated metal and iron, and they're gonna be like less like, you know, like American style houses. They're gonna be more like industrial slash what are they called? Slums. Yeah, that's what it is. Slum style ones. So less pretty like this, and a little bit more beat up. So that'll be like probably. I guess I'll still do that all in Houdini. I don't know. Those might. Those. I don't know how I'm gonna make the base metal materials yet. Not sure. Make all my movies in VR Cinetracer and previsit in real life. Yeah, that's the way it should be. I think once all the virtual production tools are like really like where they need to be in like ease of use and quality, which was probably in the next 5 years, depending on how hardware continues to increase, because we still need like 10 times the GPU power, I think, to have it be like usable like on set. I mean, that's what they basically do. Like, you network like 10 computers together, and that's how you get the quality you need. You know, if that comes to like prosumer, like $10,000 computer level, and not like $200,000, $500,000 computers, I think there's gonna be a big divide of people that like thought they were gonna be real world filmmakers that are completely virtual. They're like, there's just no point in doing, like, at a certain budget level, it's like, why are we even shooting this? Like, you know, the whole thing should just be virtual. We just have to have the tools for that kind of community. Completely see it already though. Like, I think I'm like one of those people at this point. Like, to shoot something in the real world, it's like it has to be like this. Everything is script, but it like really needs to have like, I don't know, a low budget, and then you need to like shoot it on like a simple location. But to do like the big full-on film productions for like commercial content and stuff like that, for how long it lives on the internet, it like makes less and less sense to film that stuff in real life. Or even have real people. It's like, why this content lives for like 5 seconds on someone's feed, and then it's time for the next version of it. Why even have that be like a real person? Right? Like, save that for like the tent poles, like the Witchers and the Mandalorians and stuff like that. But like everything else should just be like AI generated people and AI generated locations. And it's created, you serve it once, and it's all done. You know, it's on your phone, like 240 pixels high. We made fences. Cool. Fences are done. What's tomorrow? I don't know. First day back for a little bit. Oh yeah, slums. Slums next. Cool. I'm gonna roll. Check you guys later. I'm gonna make this demo after lunch. See you.